All right, Clark, and as we watch the Indiana Hoosiers warm up, Tom Coverdale is not on the court as yet, and it remains to be seen if and when he will join his Indiana teammates. And how ironic is this? On this date in 1940, Indiana beat Kansas for a national championship. On this date in '81, Indiana beat North Carolina, and on this date in 1987, they beat Syracuse for a national championship. No national title to be won here tonight, but a giant step in that direction.
Well, you're full of factoids there. Very impressive. It's going to come down to, can they stand up to the pressure they're going to see from Oklahoma for the full 40 minutes. If they can and get shots, they've got a chance.
All right, Clark, still ahead on the Final Four show as we continue from the Georgia Dome. The Kansas Jayhawks are led by a West Coast import, and as they say here in Georgia, he's a good one, and he's a small price who brings a whole lot of value to the Sooners. And what do Jim Calhoun, Tubby Smith, and Tom Izzo have in common? Aside from their national championships, that is. They're Dick Enberg's guests. Next. Some of the Indiana Hoosiers re-huddling underneath the stands before they reappeared here on the floor here at the Georgia Dome. And also back on the floor is Tom Coverdale of the Indiana Hoosiers. So he made a quick trip to the locker room. He is back out and working out with his teammates. And as Tom Coverdale said earlier, he expects to see action in this first national semifinal game. Welcome back to the Final Four show. Game time approaches for the first national semi between Indiana and Oklahoma. The emotional leader of the Sooners is their 6'1" guard Hollis Price, the player Clark calls Little Big Man. Price's success is a tribute to family values, the ones that shaped his childhood and those that unite the Sooners.
To understand the man Hollis Price has become, you need to know where he's been. Growing up in New Orleans, he spent his early years in one of the city's largest housing projects.
You hear a lot about where I was raised. It's tough, but, you know, only the strong survive, and I have.
Sometimes family is all you need to see you through the hardest times.
They raised me since I was a baby, and, you know, I appreciate everything they did for me. My grandfather especially, you know, he'd set me down and talk to me every day.
And we'll talk about anything. We talk about girls. We talk about drugs. We talk about choosing the right folks. We'll talk about anything, and it's that way today.
I don't know if they have a lot of families that's closer than my family is, you know, with my grandparents taking over me and my sibling.
He always calls me after every game, and then he makes me feel good because when it's all over with, he said, "Grandpa, I love you."
He's a good guy, you know, a great friend. You know, he's always been there for me, you know, in hard times and good times. And I love him.
He's a better person than he is a basketball player. And we just thank God every day for somebody like Hollis because he's an inspiration to a whole lot of other kids here.
Hollis has a great sense of who he is. He has a very good self-esteem about himself. A lot of times you'll go to somebody's house in recruiting and that's all it is, a house. But when I went to Hollis's apartment, it was a beautiful home.
Coach Sampson did a great job of selling the program and selling how much a family it was at Oklahoma. And, you know, I wanted to be a part of that.
As a father, if I knew my daughter was going to bring a kid like Hollis home as her husband, I'd be tickled pink.
Not too many coaches get a chance to bring his team to the Final Four, and not too many players get a chance to bring his coach there. We accomplished something together. That's something that is special and is going to be in our life forever.
You know, we love each other, and it's a very unconditional love that we have because of what we've gone through from September to now.
A week and a half ago, this family came together in support of Coach Sampson, whose father Ned underwent emergency brain surgery 2 nights before the regional semifinal.
I think everybody on this team knew that Coach Sampson was going through a little crisis, and you know, we just didn't want anyone to put more burden on him. We wanted to make things easier for him. So, you know, we just went out and performed, and everything turned out good.
I was happy to see Aaron walk off the court with that net around his neck. That meant a lot to me that he had it around his neck because he's a senior, and I know how hard he's worked to get to this point. And when we got to the hospital...
Once you develop a winning program to win the big one, did you feel that?
Well, there's no question. We had been in the Final Four 3 times prior to that, and it's like, you know, well, they can't win the big one, and there is a tremendous amount of pressure, and you start feeling it the more you are in the Final Four. And 97 was probably the least likely team for us to win it. But you have to be very good, but you also have to be very lucky and stay away from injuries and illness. And that particular year, we were good, but we were also lucky.
Talk a little bit about how important it is to have leadership, especially in the backcourt. You won your championship with the freshman point guard. It hasn't happened since, and I don't think it happened before. I'm looking at Kansas's team with Aaron Miles starting as a point guard. They've got a chance to win a championship. How were you able to get that accomplished with the freshman point guard?
Well, I'll tell you, we had Miles Simon and Michael Dickerson at the wings, and the same can be said for Kansas because, you know, with Boshi and I mean, they're so experienced at the 2 wing spots that then the freshman point guard just has to do his thing. And of course, Mike Bibby was outstanding, and Aaron Miles is an outstanding guard also.
You played 3 of the 4 teams that are here today. You lost to Kansas, you lost to Oklahoma, you beat Maryland. Give us a little thumbnail sketch of Maryland, if you would.
Well, they're tremendously talented, they're deep, and they're experienced. And they've got the great inside game, they've got outstanding outside play, and I think Blake has played just a tremendous season. He's been outstanding. They've got depth to go with it. So I think the advantage they have is that they were here last year, and you can't explain to kids what it's like at the Final Four. It's hard to keep them focused because there's so much media stuff, so many fans around, and I think for that reason Maryland has an edge as far as that's concerned. But Kansas is an awfully good ball club. Yeah. It's going to be a great game.
Let's look at Oklahoma. We've talked an awful lot about how tough they are defensively. You saw that in the second half of your game. What does Indiana have to do to have a chance to compete against a very good Oklahoma team?
Well, I think they have to hit a lot of threes, but Oklahoma is so tough defensively. They don't give you very many looks at threes. I think that's probably going to be the determining factor. Can Indiana get open for threes? I don't think Oklahoma will let him get a lot of three-point shots. But Jeffries creates so many problems because inside and out, they've got to guard him both places. And Oklahoma's got to stay out of foul trouble. If the officials let the game get physical, I think Oklahoma will get them.
Coach Lute Olson, it's always good to see you. Thanks very much for your time.
Well, thanks. It's nice being on.
We'll take a time out, and we'll be back with more of the Final Four show in just a moment.
Premium malt beverage. Drink responsibly.
How does your gray beard or mustache reflect on you?
Man, I look old.
Get vitamin-enriched Just for Men gel. The Rejuvenator, specially made to penetrate coarse gray in 5 minutes and match your hair. The Rejuvenator Just for Men gel.
Need to refuel? Try a new Reese's Fast Break. Milk chocolate, soft nougats, Reese's peanut butter.
Go, 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 go!
New Reese's Fast Break. Refuel and go.
Stapler's gone down. Stapler's gone down. Alert. The stapler has gone down. The stapler has gone down.
We need to fix this.
Paper clips.
That's not going to help us. Push it. You got to push it.
Pushed it.
I've got staples.
When you don't have to worry about your networks and systems going down, what will you worry about? Unicenter, reliable infrastructure software from Computer Associates.
So, set up a department meeting for tomorrow and put in a call to client. Get them up to speed. Anything else?
Here's a thought. Instead of saving money by not using paper, we could just go to Staples.
Yeah, with Staples 365 savings, they compare prices and back it up with a 110% price match guarantee.
I like that. Jot that down.
Low prices on every item, every day. Staples 365 savings. Yeah, we've got that.
It's like closing a book that you've just loved reading.
Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on.
12 years in one box? Wow.
Tell me about it. Jim makes it so simple.
That's a good thing in a financial advisor. Your 401k, we'll just roll it over. You won't miss a beat.
Oh, that's great.
From college to retirement planning, our financial advisors help clients realize their dreams.
On the sunny side of the street.
CBS Sports presentation of the Final Four show is sponsored by Pacific Life and by Aquafina.
Welcome back to the Georgia Dome as we get set for Indiana and Oklahoma in the first of tonight's national semifinals. And as we approach game time, let's update the injury situations. Let's first check in with Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thank you, Greg. The late news on Tom Coverdale is he will start this game. I just talked to him moments ago. He said he's starting. He gave me the thumbs up sign. Mike Davis, in fact, told me that he believes Tom can play as many as 30 minutes in this game. A couple other Coverdale notes. He is wearing a brace, but he has not taken any kind of pain-killing shot. He told me the damaged area is just too big. One of the assistant coaches telling me the biggest concern they have, obviously, is his conditioning in this game and the pace of the game. Now let's go over to my colleague, Bonnie Bernstein. Bonnie?
Well, Armin, Oklahoma's point guard Quantis White will be starting today, but just watching him shoot around, you can see him limping on that sprained right ankle. And even yesterday at practice, he had trouble pushing off the inside of his foot, making sharp cuts. Kelvin Sampson told me should White struggle, particularly on the defensive end, he has no trouble switching Hollis Price to the point. In fact, he said he did that against Kansas this season, and Price did a good job guarding Aaron Price. He feels equally as comfortable that he'll be able to do the same thing with either Tom Coverdale or Donald Perry. Greg.
Armin, Bonnie, thank you both. When we last left our Final Four teams, they were happily cutting down the nets at their respective regional final sites, which caused us to wonder, whatever happened to those nets?
Well, Coach has one, I think Cov has one, and then all the players got a piece. And I know little Antoine, Coach's son, was playing with it and had it all tore up 10 minutes later in the locker room. I've got mine sitting on my dresser. I don't know what the rest of the players do with it. I know I'm definitely going to keep mine.
Everybody has a piece of the net. I gave mine to my dad so he can get it framed and kind of make a collage with some other stuff.
I have a couple cousins and my uncle that follow me around the country, and I have my piece of net and the hat, and I let them pick which one got the net, which one got the hat, because, I mean, they followed me from the time I was 10 years old.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the all-tournament team beginning.
Well, that's still at my house, so, I mean, no one expected to get it back, so I guess they just gave it to me for winning the MVP.
Yeah, I got two sets of nets. The one's in Big 12, and that's in my rearview mirror on top of it. And the San Jose one is right on my dashboard.
I usually cut down a piece of the actual net, and there's the longer parts in the top. I know the longer parts in the top are on this light in my room, right above it, right by the Big 12 championship.
Let's go, baby!
Right now, it's still in my bag. I still haven't unpacked from the game. I'm kind of lazy like that, but I'll find a spot and probably next to my bed or something.
I tied it around my regional championship hat, both strands from both nets, and I wore it for about 2 days. I wore it on campus. People probably thought I was crazy, but I was really happy that we won the game.
Last year they gave us this big old quilt, Final Four, the quilt is engraved in the quilt or whatever, and I just attach it to that.
I have the whole net. It's in my room, hanging from my wall with all the rest of my trophies or plats. So I have the net though. It's my net.
I lost last year's piece, so I figured I'd lose this year's. Let Juan have that one. I'll keep, if there's another net ahead of us, I'll keep a piece of that.
And who's going to be cutting down these nets on Monday night? That's the real question. You know, The prevailing opinion around the country as far as this first game is concerned is that Oklahoma is a heavy favorite. What do you think?
Well, you know what I think? I think Indiana's going to be much more competitive, and they've got a chance to surprise the world again if they can get the ball inside. When they beat Duke, they made 2 of 10 3-point shots. Everybody thinks the key to their success is making threes. That's just part of it. I think they've got a chance to really go inside against Oklahoma and do a good job, get to the foul line, and have a chance to prevail.
All right, Clark, coming up, game 1 of the national semifinals, Indiana against Oklahoma. Our colleagues, Jim Nance and Billy Packer, are set to call the action. Clark and I will see you at the half. Enjoy the game here on CBS.
Robert De Niro is the mob boss with a problem.
I got stressed.
Billy Crystal is his shrink.
You don't hear the word no very often. It's more like, no, please, no, no.
Analyze this, CBS Sunday.
Race through the most exotic places on Earth. Don't miss an all-new Amazing Race, CBS Wednesday.
What aren't you telling us?
What else do you want to know?
We'll ask the questions here.
Hey, wait a minute. No.
Applying for a home loan? Come to Washington Mutual instead. We write our own approval rules. That's the power of yes.
Does this mean you won't validate my parking?
March is going fast, and so is the March matchup at your Jeep dealer. This Monday is your last chance to put $1,000 down on an award-winning Jeep Grand Cherokee and get our $1,000 March matchup. That's $2,000 down. With low APR, our big cash allowances on select Grand Cherokees, and our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge, it's a real matchup. Great products, great value, great protection at the March matchup. Hurry, it all ends this Monday.
It's what you want, it's what you need, it's where you want to go, it's where you want to be. Look up, Tampa Bay, and everything in between.
St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Florida. It's where you want to be. And ATA can take you there with low fares and daily nonstop flights. Call 1-800-I-FLY-ATA today.
Jiffy Lube signature service oil change every 3,000 miles. If you want your car to run like a well-oiled machine, take it to the place that works like one. Jiffy Lube, the well-oiled machine.
Pennzoil's new high-mileage vehicle oil, now with Jiffy Lube.
Howard Sudbury on CBS 2.
Got a little too much hoops on your mind? Make a fast break to your nearby Mitsubishi Big Screen dealer. Get yourself a brand new Mitsubishi Big Screen HD TV. Mitsubishi.
The goal is reinforced in quiet contemplation. Then realized on college basketball's greatest stage. Mike Davis has reached heights no one imagined at Indiana. His Hoosiers found the way to Atlanta with red-hot shooting and a team philosophy to play like one. Oklahoma went west for its Final Four frontier, finding the price of success, preached by Kelvin Sampson from the beginning. Hard work and intensity make winning and the Sooners inseparable. Roy Williams' team has been perched atop college basketball for much of the year. Kansas knows what it takes to be good. But for this season to make history, their play now must be golden. Maryland, with its Final Four experience, learned it takes more than the magic wand. And Gary Williams avows the second time will come from the heart. Four teams, one dream. And that one dream is the championship dream, which will be settled inside the Georgia Dome come Monday night. But first, the national semifinals before some 54,000. And first up, it's the Cinderella Indiana Hoosiers taking on the Oklahoma Sooners. Later, Maryland and Kansas, which promises to be a classic. Minutes before the Final Four gets started, there is such a feeling of euphoria inside the building. Four sets of fans all holding on to the hope that this is their year. And we're going to find out the two finalists tonight right here in Atlanta, Georgia. And hello, my friends. Jim Nance with Billy Packer. Wonderful to be with you again, Billy. And
well, really is, Jim.
I just love the stories we have here. Such compelling stories for all four teams. All four coaches with such humble beginnings in their road, each individual coach, to get to this site. Quite remarkable.
Well, Jim, it's the favorite day of the year for me in college basketball. Everybody's so close to one shining moment. It doesn't happen anywhere else in sport.
Well, some shining moments, Billy, by the regional most outstanding players, all of whom led their teams here to the promised land. Price of Oklahoma, Gooden for Kansas, Baxter for the second straight year a regional most outstanding player from Maryland, and Tom Coverdale from Indiana. So much of the focus, Billy, heading into this first semifinal, and he is going to start, folks, for Indiana.
We watched Tom come out in the pregame warm-up. He looked awful good to me. He was moving very well, elevating on his jump shot, and he is critical, Jim. He comes to play with a chip on his shoulder, and that's what it takes to play against an Oklahoma team.
He is the second leading scorer for the Hoosiers, led, though, by Jared Jeffries, sophomore and homegrown from Bloomington, Indiana.
He's the Big Ten Player of the Year, a terrific player on all ends of the floor. He will be needed in this game tonight to establish an inside presence to keep Oklahoma honest.
Billy, you talk about an inside presence for Oklahoma. They have that and the outside game as well with Hollis Price and Aaron McGee. This is a very powerful duo. Look at their tournament numbers right here. The 4 games, they put up numbers like this. McGee 22-7, Price 18-point average to get him to Atlanta.
Well, Hollis Price is the heart and soul of this club. McGee is the guy that has 9 double-doubles in the last 17 games. Price, whether it be from the outside or just his pure leadership, is the guy that makes this team really roll.
Well, the Indiana Hoosiers are taking the floor here at the Georgia Dome. We had a chance, Billy, to talk with these two coaches who are feeling so much support from their community to lead their teams here. Mike Davis, Kelvin Sampson, their thoughts on the game.
Well, they're so athletic. They're going to really try to get into us hard defensively, but that's fine. We just space them out and try to get some backdoor cuts on them. Coach Sampson is a great basketball coach. I'm quite sure he has a great game plan.
We're a team that can withstand some bad shots occasionally because we're such a good offensive rebounding team. But that's always a big key for us. Offensive rebounding, good execution, and knowing the difference between a break that we have and one we don't have.
And there's Tom Coverdale in the lineup, layup lineup, starting lineup. That left ankle heavily wrapped and has been so scrutinized for a whole week, Billy. And we'll see, though, when it comes to cutting and trying to keep up with that backcourt for Oklahoma, what he really has.
I like the mind games of Mike Davis all week. You never saw what Tom Coverdale really had until this game is ready to start. Good job on his part psychologically.
He did not make an appearance yesterday during the public practice here.
Just to sit on the bench for a while.
Meanwhile, the Sooners are ready to burst out from the behind the scenes. And here they come. We'll be right back to Atlanta.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Men's National Semifinals is sponsored by Chevy Trucks, United Airlines, Bandits from MGM Home Entertainment, and by Bud Light.
Years now, where'd they go? 20 years, I don't know. I sit and I wonder sometimes where they've gone.
Need some help, old man?
My boy, generation after generation, it's good to have someone you can depend on.
It has over 20 million customers nationwide. Works with nearly half the Fortune 1000 and provides the wireless network for BlackBerry and Palm. Bet you didn't know who's so big in business. Singular Wireless. What do you have to say?
I'm Scarface from the A's, dog, king of the block. We are one on my t-shirt, the shoe of Reebok. In the streets rock what we rock. The battle is won. Cross beaming with the franchise. You know I was done. It's like this, it's like that, it's like this, and it's like this, it's like that, it's like this, and it's like that, it's like this, it's like that, and it's like this, it's like that, it's like that, and Def Jam, baby.
I had a 747 named after me, and it flew the route between San Francisco and Tokyo. United was rewarding frequent flyers by naming planes after them. I saw it one time when I flew back from Osaka to San Francisco. I did see my plane sitting at a gate. My mother was happy. I finally amounted to something. My name is Howard Feinberg, and I've flown 2,540,000 miles on United Airlines. It was really a hoot.
We are back in Atlanta for the first national semifinal. Indiana and Oklahoma, the Hoosiers, shared the regular season title out of the Big Ten, and Oklahoma won the Big 12 tournament championship. Let's meet the starters, and we hand it off now to Jackie Bowe.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Georgia Dome for tonight's first round semifinal game between the Indiana University Hoosiers and the University of Oklahoma's Sooners. Let's meet the starting lineups. At forward for Indiana, listed at 6'10", a sophomore from Bloomington, Indiana, number 1, Jared Jeffries. At forward for Oklahoma, listed at 6'8", a senior from Aurora, Illinois, wearing number 13, Aaron McGee. At forward for Indiana, listed at 6'8", a senior from Swayze, Indiana, number 43, Gerard Ogle. At guard for Oklahoma, listed at 6'5", a junior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, wearing number 2, Ibi Ara. At guard for Indiana, listed at 6'2", a junior from Noblesville, Indiana, wearing number 3, Tom Coverdale. At center for Oklahoma, listed at 6'10", a sophomore from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, wearing number 21, Jabari Brown. At guard for Indiana, listed at 6'5", a senior from Anacoco, Louisiana, wearing number 32, Kyle Hornsby. At guard for Oklahoma, listed at 6'1", a junior from New Orleans, Louisiana, wearing number 4, Quantus White. At guard for Indiana, listed at 6'4", senior from Clarkson, Michigan, wearing number 11, Dane Fife. And at guard for Oklahoma, listed at 6'1", a junior from New Orleans, Louisiana, wearing number 10, Hollis Price. Introducing the head coaches for Indiana, Mike Davis. And for Oklahoma, Kelvin Sampson.
There's wonderful respect between those two. When Mike Davis was appointed the Indiana coach full-time after last season, he got a long letter from Kelvin Sampson telling him to go for his vision, be yourself. Davis has never forgotten that. And they meet now here at the Final Four. And Mr. Packer, let's run through your pregame points here.
Well, Jim, this is going to be an interesting game of contrast. Raining threes is the first thing you have to look for in watching this game, and I'm talking about Indiana. Comes in here shooting 50% from three in the tournament, but look at what Oklahoma does defensively against the three, holding teams to 29%. In-your-face defense, and this is something that's really going to be interesting. Indiana only has plus 41 assists over turnovers, and look at what Oklahoma does to their opponents. They force 154 turnovers. To me, one of the real key things, and I very seldom talk about this, is going to be the quick whistle. It is really important tonight that this game be closely officiated if you're Indiana, because Oklahoma really wants to come after you. Look at that early. And Coverdale's impact, not only statistically, which you see right here, but this is a young man that comes to a game with a chip on his shoulder, and that's necessary because Oklahoma may be one of the toughest teams he'll ever have to play against that way.
Oklahoma's first appearance at the Final Four since 1988, and for Indiana 10 years ago, 92, their last Final Four visit. Jeffries and Brown to jump it up, and the Final Four is underway with Oklahoma. First possession.
Fife on Price, one of the top defenders in the Big Ten, against the man that makes it go for Oklahoma.
McGee and Jeffries with the block.
Got a nice piece of that shot. Good shot blocking by Jeffries. His hand right up there. McGee may be a little bit quicker, but Jeffries got a big height advantage.
Double team on Jeffries. Hornsby passes up the shot.
Looks like they're going to double down on Jeffries and leave Odell one-on-one by himself.
Odell and big pressure from McGee forced that shot to misfire.
I like the move by Indiana early, Jim, to go inside, try to get an inside game going so they can hit from the outside. Nice curl move.
Ball on the floor, and Odell has it. Tie up, arrow, Indiana.
Arad down on the floor, one of the real keys for Oklahoma. When he is scoring, this team is almost impossible to handle. Got the ball very easily on that curl move. I'm surprised Oklahoma is not picking up a little bit more full court. They have a big advantage as far as quickness in the front, in the backboard area.
Coverdale comes off a screen, almost launched the three. Now Fife back out to Coverdale and making some cuts here at the start, Billy. Coverdale bounce pass, gets into the arms of Jeffries, and the foul on Jabari Brown. What do you see from Coverdale the first two trips?
Well, what I see is that he is going to be able to play, Jim. It may not be 100% efficiency. He's got a very unusual looking leg wrap right there, but Indiana, obviously, Tim Garl, one of the great trainers, as a matter of fact, the guy that's been the president of that association, has obviously done a tremendous job. Now, Coverdale's funny in this respect, Jim. A guy who often gets banged up, but a guy that is a very good healer, and because he is tough, he was not going to be denied an opportunity to play today.
Well, it's like Mike Davis said last night, that ankle would have to be broken for him not to play. He did suffer an earlier sprain on that same left ankle earlier in the tournament and fought through it in their second round win against North Carolina Wilmington. White over Coverdale, and that ball tipped up and in by Brown.
Good job by Brown. Stayed right up in the air. Almost jumped up a little too early. Extending the defense now to the outside, taking away any three-point opportunities. Indiana's not a team that can break you down off the dribble.
An Indiana team that hit its first 8 threes in the regional final against Kent State. An amazing 15 of 19 in that game from behind the arc.
And don't be surprised to see Jeffries outside some. Actually, the ball blocked that time by the backboard. Fight was too far underneath. It looks like they want to play Jeffries outside a little bit, taking Brown out there with him. Jeffries very good at putting the ball down for a big man. Odell overplaying even Brown to the outside.
Dura with a three and a swish.
There's a huge shot. That's exactly what I was talking about. the man that really makes the difference as to whether this team is scoring in the 80s or down in the 60s. One of the things Indiana does do a good job, they don't put the ball on the floor very often with the dribble.
Odell, interior pass. Jeffries.
Another foul on Brown.
That's his second.
And this is the one area, and again I said watch how this game is being called. This is the one area that Oklahoma can find themselves in trouble. Brown getting into foul trouble early makes Oklahoma become a small team in a hurry.
2 fouls on Brown in the first 2.5 minutes. And he's replaced by Darian Selvey. Selvey, one of the co-captains for the Sooners out of West Memphis, Arkansas.
2 excellent free throw shooting teams. Of course, Oklahoma the best at 76%, but Indiana right there at 70. Big overplays. Now with Selvey in the game, Odell's going to have a tougher time.
Coverdale fighting off a screen, helped force the steal.
Good hit ahead
to Odell to tie it at 5.
Jim, what we're seeing so far is Indiana's defense has not allowed penetration by Oklahoma. Kind of surprising. And Hollis Price has not touched the ball in an offensive position. Fife doing a good job keeping it away from him.
Selvey in the lane. And it's Indiana ball.
I sense Oklahoma a little tight, a little different than the team we have seen not only knock off Kansas in the Big 12 for the tournament championship, and giving Kansas the first loss they suffered at all by anybody in the Big 12 this year, but also the way they played in the NCAA tournament. We're much more aggressive than we're seeing so far, particularly in the offensive end.
Coverdale almost got to the spot on time, and he forces the push-off call against Quannas White.
Talked about the quick whistle, and we are seeing it.
Indiana's road to the Final Four through 3 double seeds, if you will. A 12, a 13, and a 10, but the stunner over Duke, where they had a commanding rebound advantage over the Blue Devils and fought back from 17 down to knock off the #1 team in the country.
Nice idea by Fife. He realized he was going to be hit, so he put the shot up in the air.
Oklahoma downplayed any extra incentive being left out as a #1 seed. They were the 2 in the West. You called that the toughest bracket
by far.
And they marched through Arizona and Missouri in the regionals.
Selvey did a good job cutting off Odell, had a chance to take it all the way to the hoop. Now see the difference now with Selvey in the game. Jeffries can post him up inside. He's got about 4 or 5 inches on him. There he is. They're not hitting him with the ball soon enough.
Fife in trouble, back out high. Jeffries can handle it on the drive. Tip back out by Odell, and here comes Price.
First chance for a little break, but Indiana gets back nicely.
And off the fingertips of Price. Billy, you talked about how closely they're going to call it. 4 fouls on Oklahoma at the first break. None on Indiana.
Wow. That is so cool. Can he do it again?
Sure. Go get one, boy.
Okay, so where does he get him? Yeah.
I don't know.
Get down!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Ooh, that's a first.
Make it a Bud Light.
Ah, spring. Mowers mowing, blowers blowing, and the Home Depot has them all in full throttle. Come in now through March 31st and get no payments and no interest till January 2003 on any lawn and garden purchase of $299 or more with your Home Depot consumer credit card. You'll find great brands like Toro, Honda, and more. Buy now and we'll even extend the warranty on all Toro and Honda mowers for an additional year. So come in now through March 31st and get a jump start on the season at the Home Depot.
The cars you can depend on. The cars that last.
You never had to look too far.
Chevy. We'll be there.
Always with you.
Meet Baby Bob, a 6-month-old who really has a way with words.
Yeah, here's 3 of them. Watch my show.
The smash hit comedy Baby Bob, CBS Monday.
Armitayan here in Atlanta at the Final Four. Mike Davis gave an emotional speech right from the heart. He said to his team, enjoy the moment, take advantage of this opportunity. It only comes around once in a lifetime. Bonnie Bernstein.
Before the game, Kelvin Sampson revved up his Sooners with a highlight video edited to the music, One Shining Moment. He says, I want you to realize this is your time. Give your best performance on college basketball's greatest stage. Jim?
That's precisely, Bonnie, what Duke did last year. Watch that video, in fact, cut to their own highlights on the ride to the championship game at the Metrodome in Minneapolis.
Jim, Selvey has got to be careful. He's bumping Jeffries every time he tries to go through without the ball. Great overplaying. You can see during this timeout, Kelvin Sampson told his guys to pick up the movement defensively.
8 seconds, Billy, on the shot clock. And Coverdale just realized it.
Good step out by Selvey.
Got to get it away. Not in time. Not in time.
Good defensive stance that time by Oklahoma. First time in this game we've seen Kelvin Sampson play the way they're taught. I thought he might even pick up full court from now on just to get his guys' legs moving because they have come out very, very tight.
Indiana's starting 5 remains on the floor. Selvey, the lone non-starter for the Sooners, with Brown on the bench with 2 fouls. Price, first shot. Too strong, and McGee between 2 Hoosiers.
That's Coverdale.
And 1.
Coverdale on the reach in. McGee just too strong for him. We'll see this right here. McGee, an excellent job. 9 double-doubles in the last 17 games. This man, all Big 12 first-teamer. Too strong. Puts it up inside, and Coverdale will have to go with 2 hands if he's going to stop him there.
And he is a superb free throw shooter, McGee, 82%. The first team all Big 12 player.
Look at Selvey right now. I mentioned Jeffries has got about 4 inches on him, but it doesn't do him any advantage playing 20 feet away from the basket. They're going to have to get Jeffries down in the low post and make Selvey play him there.
The Cincinnati transfer, who has really developed into a dominant player this year, unable to finish the 3-point play.
And this team, you can tell by that, Jim, they've been so good from the free throw line. That shot went up there extremely hard. Jeffries keeps coming outside. That gives Selvey an advantage.
Coverdale went back to Jeffries on the floor. Coverdale throws it out of bounds. Nope, they say it was touched last by Oklahoma.
Good swarming defense by Oklahoma, however.
Oklahoma brings in Jason Dietrich for his first action. Junior from Newport News, Virginia, and a sub for Indiana, Atlanta's very own Jeff Newton.
Jim, not a lot of fall off when Dietrich comes in. He's an explosive scorer and a very versatile defender as well. And here's Oklahoma going into a little zone, but Price doesn't realize it. He's playing man-to-man. Everybody else is zoning.
Newton outside shot. Jeffries very active. And this is going to be another foul here on Oklahoma. It's called on Selvey, their 5th team foul.
I would like to point out something in regard to fouling, Jim. I think the way the game's being called is an advantage to Indiana right now. But Oklahoma wins 31 games, loses only 4. But this year their opponent shot 105 more free throws than they did. That is an unbelievable statistic. Foul on the screen. First foul that time on Indiana. Going to be on Newton.
Newton in here, number 50, and another big body for the Hoosiers off the bench. A.J. Moye will no doubt be seeing shortly, another Atlanta product. 2 Atlanta stars on this Indiana team.
Jeffries is being asked to do a lot. McGee on one end of the floor and score on the other.
Tough pass inside. Selvey works hard to get it back. Price. 3-point shot passed up.
Nice recovery by Newton. There's a 3-second call. Boy, a terrific job by Newton defensively to recover on Hollis Price, who was ready to launch a 3. He wants to get started offensively. Again, no full court pickup by Oklahoma. That allows Coverdale to rest a little bit. You know he's not in the best of shape. I think Oklahoma should be picking him up full court, really make him work, bring the ball up the floor. Jeffries now posting up on Selby, but nobody can get him the ball. Illegal screen again.
Jeffries, yep, Jeffries down low. Stepped in, tried to set that screen, his first. And A.J. Moye, indeed, is in the lineup now for Indiana.
Jim, we'll see. The fact Jeffries comes over, does not set his body at all. Dietrich really took a shot right there. Foolish foul by Jeffries. He cannot afford any of those cheap fouls. He must be on this floor 34 plus minutes probably in this game. Set play.
Coverdale on White. White tips once. Coverdale comes out with the rebound.
Lost the handle. Really doesn't have blazing quickness even with a good ankle. Moye into the game, probably the most athletic of all of the Indiana players.
Newton traveled.
Good, smart defense that time because you know Newton is not going to want to take that shot from the outside. Smart play by Selby.
Indiana now, Billy, 7 minutes into this game, has made only one field goal. That was the breakaway off the steal to Odell. And they've gone over 4 minutes now without a field goal. And Donald Perry has come in to replace Coverdale, number 12, freshman out of Louisiana.
You've got to give Coverdale a rest because of the fact that he hasn't been practicing. Bad shot by McGee, hits it anyway.
Fade away by McGee, and he has 4 for the Sooners.
But Jim, here's the problem. A guy with a bad ankle that has to sit down really has to be careful that it doesn't stiffen up on him when he goes to get back in there.
Donald Perry right here, handling it for the first time, so scrutinized all week.
Doubling from the backside. Nice move by Oklahoma.
Moye. Perry passes up the open shot, and it's off Newton.
Lots going to be asked of Perry. He came in on the year, was shooting 3 for 26 from three-point land. In the NCAA's 2 for 3, but when you come in off that bench and are expected to play big minutes, could be tough for the freshman.
Odell in for Newton as the Hoosiers have turned it over their last 4 trips.
So now we have 2 men from Louisiana playing point guard against each other. Boy, McGee is doing a great job holding Jeffries off. There he is again.
Trying to draw a second on Jeffries. Another fadeaway, just like the last one. True again.
I really think that Odell will have to play McGee. Jeffries is asked to do so much as the #1 position man defensively. Is taking away some of his offense as well.
Tough pass.
Oh, White, I think, pulled a hamstring here. He's down. Let's see.
He's a little gimpy already.
Yep.
He sprained his ankle in practice on Thursday. Ball was kicked. It'll be Indiana ball when we come back. The last 6 to Oklahoma.
Hey, guys.
Never pay for long distance, never pay for roaming with Singular Wireless. And right now, get 3,500 night and weekend bonus minutes plus a great deal on a Nokia phone. Nationwide self-expression is Singular.
At Midas, all we think about is auto care. In fact, recently, I had an idea for a kids show, a way to get kids excited about our business. Wave hello to Mr. AC!
Hi, Mr. AC!
Mr. AC is very cold. The compressor pressurizes the... We're still tweaking it.
Midas, we do that.
In 1935, Foxwood Farms started with 1 horse and a truck. The horse was a thoroughbred, the truck a Chevy Suburban. Today, they have a few more horses, but there's still only 1 truck, Chevy Suburban. With an available 8.1-liter Vortec engine, it's capable of towing up to 6 tons, making it the best Suburban yet. Chevy Suburban, like a rock.
This Tuesday on DVD and video.
There are ghosts around us all the time.
Ghosts? 13 ghosts. If you can't beat them, you just may join them. 13 Ghosts. Buy it this Tuesday on DVD and video.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room. More people room. Or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. Ted Danson, Mary Steenburgen, Diane Ladd, Jack Palance, and Queen Latifah. Living with the Dead. CBS Sunday, April 28th.
Jim Nance with Billy Packer, Armin Gate, and Bonnie Bernstein at the Final Four. And Mike Davis had expressed yesterday, Billy, at the practice his biggest concern, how will we score on Oklahoma? And so far, only 1 of 5 field goals and 5 turnovers by the Hoosiers in the first 8.5 minutes.
Well, Jim, one of the things that Indiana has got to do, they've got to get Jeffries down on the low blocks and figure out a way to get him the ball. The problem is with Odell in the game, and here's Odell wide open. With Odell in the game, Oklahoma is not going to go out and respect him from 3.
Odell with both of the Hoosier field goals. That breaks a 5.5-minute drought from the floor.
And that's really the first basket in the half-court set, and it was from an out-of-bounds play.
And McGee, that's going to be the second on Jeffries.
I don't like this matchup from Indiana's standpoint because McGee is just too active to ask Jeffries to play him. They're going to have to switch Odell over to him or get Newton back into the game. McGee is just too quick.
Well, Newton's still sitting at the scorer's table, and he was about to come in. Would he have been coming in for Jeffries and just a little too late? I'm sure he'll be replacing him now.
And now this really puts Indiana in a bad situation in regard to where do the points come from. Between the two of them, Odell and Newton, you have 4 3-point shots they've made between two of them all year long. So the game is going to have to be played from the outside, and Oklahoma knows that. Look at how Selby's picking up the defense. They are now really pressuring the ball. This is Oklahoma basketball.
And they're really swarming the freshman Perry.
This is a great move, I think, by Calvin Sampson. Pressure the ball because Jeffries is no longer in the game.
Moye gets through the traffic. His teammates will tell you he feels like he owns the city, coming back to his hometown for the Final Four, showing them the sights. Dietrich, 3-point shot. Long rebound, Newton.
Little faster pace established here, and Indiana takes the challenge.
Odell was calling for it, wants to move in on McGee, and rolls off the rim. McGee underneath. Dietrich to the hole.
Jim, isn't it amazing how in the last 2 possessions we're seeing almost an entirely different Oklahoma team? And I give Calvin Sampson a lot of credit. Picked up his defense with some trapping, changed the whole complexion of the game.
First 3-point shot of the game, and 5 too strong. Price up ahead. Hurrah, pull up 2.
He has a beautiful shooting touch, and right now Mike Davis might be thinking time because we're seeing an Oklahoma team ready to blow this thing open.
They turned up the heat, they turned up the pressure, and they open up the 17-9 lead.
Announcing Friends Fly Free from Southwest Airlines. Simply purchase a special discounted fare starting at $59 and a friend comes along for free.
You are now free to move about the country.
Tournament summary, only one 5 seed has reached a final. No 5 has ever won Indiana trying to become the first, and we have a battle of #1 seeds in the second game here. And Coverdale, to settle things down, returns to the lineup out of the Indiana timeout.
Looks like he's moving that leg pretty well, but Jim, with almost half of the half yet to be played, Jeffries on that bench with 2 fouls. Probably can't get him back in this first half.
Newton and
nice.
Selvey on the foul.
At the basket.
Zendri on the foul. Newton, who has had a tremendous postseason play.
Especially from the field, Billy. The guy has hardly missed. Second on Selvey. And Newton with a chance for the 3-point play. Josef Zindre is in for Oklahoma, number 42.
Well, Newton got all this started in the Big Ten tournament when he was 5 for 7, 10 points, 7 rebounds against Michigan State, and has had a really good run in postseason play.
McGee in, Selvey out. And Hornsby for Fife on the Indiana side. Yeah, he did 16 out of 19 from the field entering this one, 1 of 2. The start of this game for Newton. Hurrah!
Tough matchup for Hornsby. Hurrah, really a gifted shooter, and as I said, when he scores, everything seems to function so well for Oklahoma.
Newton drives past Zindre, and again he's got a chance to convert a 3-point play.
Newton much quicker than Zendre. Brown going to come back into the game, who got into foul trouble early, but Kelvin Sampson sees that Newton too quick.
That foul called on McGee, his first.
You think Newton a little excited coming back to his hometown right here to be able to perform so well?
Looked a little jittery when he first came in, missed a shot, had a couple of turnovers, but he has settled down and hit for 6 straight here.
A huge lift for Indiana, particularly with Jeffries sitting. You think of Newton primarily coming in and being the shot blocker.
Jabari Brown is back on the floor for Oklahoma with the 2 fouls. Quantus White has also returned. That shot right over Hornsby. Hurrah!
He's too quick for Hornsby. That is a very difficult matchup for Indiana. Hurrah senses it.
Good cut inside to Odell. Newton with the assist.
Kelvin Sampson says you cannot help out in that situation. Jabari Brown break down defensively.
Indiana's half-court offense starting to work effectively.
Kind of surprising, working better with Jeffries on the bench.
And McGee on the blocks.
Well, there he uses that left hand so effectively, whether it be the fall-away jumper, and that time he had excellent position. Newton's got to make him come back to the other side.
McGee has 10 of the 23 for Oklahoma.
Little matchup zone right now by Oklahoma for the first time. Gives Hornsby his first look.
Hornsby with the first 3 of the game for the Hoosiers.
There was a change of defenses by Oklahoma and it backfired on them. That's all Hornsby needs is a nice little look.
McGee. And that's the first miss after 5 straight.
Boye going up for the rebound. Who will ever forget that block against Boozer of Duke?
And Odell cuts it to 1.
This is a tremendous comeback with Jeffries on the bench, Jim.
An Indiana stretch that very much resembled the way they played against Duke the second half. They were down 8 a moment ago, and now it's a 1-point game. Oklahoma ahead.
It's time to spring into action at your Honda dealer, because right now you can ride off with a great street bike with financing as low as 2.9% with no down payment. Or spring for low payments, because Shadow 750 start at just $90 a month with your Honda card. Act fast and get a bonus. On select street bikes, get up to $300 in bonus bucks before March 31st. Spring into action now at your Honda dealer.
That was a charge timeout to Oklahoma. The next dead ball, there will be a full timeout, but Kelvin Sampson wanted to settle things down. for Moye.
On the elbow.
Was it a 2 or was it a 3?
He was backing up, Jim. I really didn't see if his foot left inside the 3. It is a 2.
2. That's on Moye.
Jim, these two teams have met twice in their history in NCAA tournament play. I was at one of the games. It was in Evansville, Indiana. I'll never forget this. Billy Tubbs, that year, remember, had been hit in an auto crash, was not able to be there, and it was one of the toughest moments any coach will have to have. Mike Newell was appointed to be the head coach in that game, and to go out in Evansville, Indiana, with Wayman Tisdale, a freshman, to face a Bob Knight Indiana team, that was a tough assignment. Indiana winning the game.
Both teams over 50% from the floor. We'll be right back.
So you sure this is okay? What if someone calls? What if someone calls?
Sometimes you feel like being dependable. Sometimes you just want to go for a drive. Chevy Impala.
I'll be there. Jerky.
Who sings that? The Seekers. Who sings that? The Seekers.
No. Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose, 1972.
You want expert answers whenever you need them? Come to Office Depot, where our people listen, understand, and help.
How can I get organized?
New generation of handhelds. It'd be nice if everything was like that. Office Depot. What you need to know.
When you think of Italy, you think of things like cars that think they can fly. The latest fashions. You girls appreciate great taste. Want to go to Subway? Italy. That's where Subway came up with the idea for the new roasted garlic on Italian. Come on.
Our new roasted garlic on Italian is delicious. We start with classic Italian bread, sprinkle roasted garlic, and select spices on top, and bake it all together. It's one of Subway's 2 new gourmet breads.
Maybe in your next lifetime, guys.
Subway, eat fresh.
I need a car. No, a convertible, a red one, with under 15,000 miles.
Autotrader.com. With 2 million new or used cars, you can find the one you really want. And with millions of shoppers, you can sell the one you already have. It's the ultimate automotive classified site. Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
Tiger Woods pursues a 3rd green jacket and back-to-back wins at Augusta National. A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS.
Billy, let's check in on the Mountain Dew Eye Vision.
Well, basketball is a game of communication. Here we Selby and Arad. They have a miscommunication on the switch. Watch what happens when Newton breaks through. Selby makes a step thinking there is no switch. Newton gets the ball right under the basket. Good job by Newton coming back, and here is Oklahoma in a 1-2-2 zone. Newton again becoming an offensive factor inside.
Coverdale's first shot is blocked by Selby.
There'll be no doubling down on Newton inside in this zone defense. So he's going to have a shot, but it's against McGee. Nice move.
Beautiful move, and over the back on Newton.
He'd love to have that one back. A terrific inside move against the zone. And you can see in that zone, Oklahoma is playing the ball very tight outside, giving the easy pass inside.
That's the 2nd on Newton, 2 on Newton, 2 on Jeffries.
For the Sooners is number 5.
White goes out for Oklahoma, and Dietrich back into the lineup.
And the MVP of the region, Price, not having a big first half, Jim.
1 point. He'll be washing those hands at halftime.
Right.
He's superstitious.
Well, he's being guarded by Moye right now. One guy that can stick right with him.
Hurrah!
Question that shot.
Yeah, way out there.
And they get out of the zone. They go back to their man-to-man. So Calvin Sampson has used a straight zone, a matchup zone, and a man-to-man so far in this first half. That's Hornsby's shot.
For the lead. Back of the rim. Tipped up Odell. Moye inside. And it's Oklahoma ball. Near the conclusion of every tournament game, we select a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each team. And to date, Chevrolet has contributed almost $8 million to the scholarship funds of America's colleges and universities. Newton goes out with the 2, and George Leach comes in, sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Leach, a good shot blocker, a lot of size in there, and this is a good move by Mike Davis because all he's trying to do is get a few minutes out of him and try to keep McGee honest. Let's see if Oklahoma goes to McGee early here.
Price drives past Moye, who blocks it from behind. Selvey swatted away by Leach.
That's what he's in the game for, but a terrific job by Moye as well on that. He is an explosive leaper. This is some block.
McGee way outside. Off the shot clock, Indiana ball.
If you're Indiana, you probably want McGee to shoot those fadeaway jumpers because it keeps him off the offensive glass.
Leach looked like his old high school teammate, swatting that one into the front row. Chris Marcus of Western Kentucky. Tournament team this year, knocked out by Stanford round 1. Moye gives them good minutes, and he gives them a tie at 24.
Jim, I look at Moye, not only good minutes, he's just as good as any starter that they have. He's strong enough athletically to play anybody. Leach on another big play. Probably a foul, not called. We talked about the quick whistle. It actually...
Selvey really trying to mix things up. Wrapper, yes, and Leach gives him the lead at 26-24.
Can you believe this? Leach and Newton taking up for Jeffries, who's been on the bench for a long time in foul trouble.
Their first lead since 1-0. Dietrich traveled.
He had to respect Leach. I'll tell you, Leach is really fired up as his senior odal.
They have come back from 8 down to take the lead, and you can get live team and player stats for Oklahoma and Indiana in the Game Center at cbs.sportsline.com. America Online, enter the keyword CBS Sportsline.
Jim, I really think with Oklahoma going zone, it's giving Indiana some confidence. Oklahoma's a team that wants to be in your face defensively, and when they give you 3/4 of the court to go ahead and bring the ball up easily, it's not the kind of defense that Indiana worries about at all. You can't turn the ball over if you're not going out and attacking.
Look at the points in the paint for Indiana and Minifelt coming in. They would be outmanned inside.
Well, the Duke game should have been a lesson, huh?
Well, the way they out-rebounded the Devils. Coverdale tipped around, and it's Leach making another play. This could be the 3rd on Brown.
It is. He gets there too late. Leach doing a good job going up with 2 hands. Jim, when Leach was recruited, people expected him to be totally outstanding. He had some problems with academic, not really difficulty, but a controversy between his transcript and the NCAA, but he was redshirted as a partial qualifier his first year.
So he goes out with 3, and Zindre, who they try to take advantage of in a matchup, returns. A junior from Budapest, Hungary. His parents have flown in from Hungary to watch him play in the States for the first time ever.
Good block out by McGee. Kept Moye off the basket. I am really surprised that Price doesn't try to test Coverdale with some dribble penetration.
McGee will test Leach. And Leach on the foul. Tom Coverdale's play, Billy, fighting through screens. This forced an early Indiana basket.
Well, what was very apparent is that ankle, although it may be sore and it may be heavily taped, he is not showing any ill effects of it the way he's playing out here.
Well, they had phone calls from doctors in Europe. Someone sent them some water that had been blessed by the Pope, supposedly. All kinds of remedies offered up by Hoosier fans around the world to make sure that Coverdale would be back to be able to play at the Final Four.
Hard to believe that a Mr. Basketball of Indiana, however, would ever want to sit this one out.
A 9-3 Indiana run. 26s on the board in Georgia.
Take all the time you want, folks. We'll take this one in red. Beautiful choice, sir. No, black. Black. That's actually my favorite color. Red. Definitely red.
When software lets you quickly give customers what they want, that's one degree of separation. That's business with .NET from Microsoft.
The new Saab 9.5. With a more solid ride and a turbocharged engine you can't wait to take advantage of.
Yeah, you know, can I try the red one again?
Oh. Right now, lease a Saab 9.5 linear sedan starting at $399 a month for 36 months. For details, see your Saab dealer.
Thanks for the lift.
You jumped out?
I jumped out of the moving truck.
You're kidding.
At that point, it was like my decision was made. I'm out of here.
Life is best told over a great tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
After 7 years of trying, he's really here.
Good gifts of love.
I know.
Good gifts to hand me down.
Honey, who's that?
It's Mark, our financial advisor.
You've planned the next 18 years?
Yeah.
From college to retirement planning, our financial advisors help clients realize their dreams.
These gifts to me.
It's a full-service show, Dave!
Dave?
Dave is your friend.
The first name, Dave, in late-night television.
Your name comes up all the time.
Jabari Brown has played only 3 minutes, 3 fouls. Selby with 2. Jeffries and Newton on the Indiana bench with 2 each. Some big minutes turned in here by George Leach for Indiana remaining on the floor.
Let's check this defense out right now. They go back to man-to-man.
Hornsby down and out and tipped out by Odell. Coming up, singular at the half. Greg and Clark will have first half analysis plus the Chevy Player and Coach of the Year presentation, all coming up on singular at the half.
Jim, against Kent State, Hornsby was 6 for 8 from 3. Tonight he's had 2 good looks and has not hit them, rushing his shots a little bit.
And a foul before the shot.
Hornsby on the foul.
Thursday, an all-new Survivor, and don't miss a competition filled with excitement, split-second timing, and controversy. The #1 reality series on an all-new Survivor Thursday here on CBS. And Dietrich with a 1-on-1. It's the 8th team foul. Oklahoma, as it hits the free throw, has missed its last 6 shots. No field goals made in the last 4.5 minutes. In fact, the 2 leading scorers, well, the leading scorers for each side, Billy, have not hit from the field. Price and Jeffries.
Well, we're talking about 2 scorers that average between them 32.2 points a game, have been a non-factor in this first half.
Hornsby goes out. Fife comes in. 3rd member of his family to be a part of a Final Four.
There's that matchup defense now by Oklahoma again.
Odell, tough pass and taken away by Zindre.
Zindre did a good job that time overplaying, understand who was in his area.
Dietrich swatted away for a second time by Leach, and a foul call against Indiana. Odell.
Dietrich doing a good job blocking him out here. Here's Leach with his 3rd block since he's come into the game. Doing a terrific job. Zindre's going to have to give him credit. And there you see the push. Dietrich going back to the line. Good solid block inside.
Dietrich 81%. 1-1.
Well, as I said, Jim, very unusual statistic for Oklahoma. Their opponents shoot 105 more fouls than they do, which is very interesting for a team as aggressive as they are and have that low post game with McGee. But they are a brilliant free throw shooting team. In the last 4 years in the Big 12, Kelvin Sampson's team finished either 1-2 from free throw shooting. That's just not recruiting. That's good coaching.
Another good coaching stat for him. They lead the Big 12 this year in field goal percentage defense and three-point percentage defense.
Big mistake by McGee, and he dodged one there.
That's a block call on Coverdale. That's his second.
We saw McGee go in the air. He goes in the air to worry about Odell, who is 3 for 8 for 3 on the year. And then he does a good job with that explosive speed. Coverdale can't get there in time.
Double bonus. McGee will shoot 2. When they tore down the nets in San Jose, McGee took one of the nets, had it around his neck, and the team bus stopped by the local hospital where Kelvin Sampson's father, Ned, was recovering from a blood clot. And they all went to visit the old coach at Pembroke High back in North Carolina, there at San Jose Hospital. McGee took the net off of his neck and put it on Mr. Sampson's. Mr. Sampson, by the way, is here in Atlanta, arrived on Wednesday. He is resting right now in his hotel room, hoping to be well enough to make it to Monday night if the Sooners get there. Just didn't feel like he could be here today.
There's this matchup zone once again by Oklahoma. Coverdale tried to draw the foul. He wasn't even trying to make that shot. The official let it go.
Oklahoma on a run. Dietrich with a 3. Zindrake pushes it out to Moye.
Leach has got an opening.
Leach lost control of it going up, and they're going to say Price got a piece of the hand.
That was probably a pretty good foul by Price. Leach did a good job getting out on this break, and he wanted to dunk rather than have to go to the line. Having quite a first half is Leach. Terrific job blocking, and there was that put away he made on the inside. Jim, you know, one of the things about Leach, although he hasn't had the playing time this year, Miami, a very good aggressive team, was a team that he played against, almost had a triple-double. 10 points, 10 rebounds, 7 blocks.
One more for Leach.
But he's only a 53% foul shooter, so you can see what a smart foul that was by Price.
Coverdale down with 2 fouls. Donald Perry back in. And that cuts that 8-0 run by the Sooners. Got 1 of 2.
Price being very patient up there. Has not tried to push this game at all.
Sooners on a run, but they've made their last 9 points traveling. Their last 9 points have come from the line. They've gone almost 7 minutes without a field goal, yet they've opened up a 5-point lead.
You can see how Ara likes to explode as a scorer. So far this year, he's had 9 20-point games, got off to a pretty good start. He's kind of forcing things here as we go down the stretch of the first half. Perry ought to keep the ball. Had a mismatch on the matchup zone.
On the shot clock. Fife back out. Perry, the freshman, must do something. He gets open. Oh, he had an open layup. I think he felt he was going to get some more pressure.
Lack of experience, Jim.
McGee tips. Leach had a hand on it. Back out to Price again. And Perry gives the Hoosiers some big numbers here. The trailer has the wrong guy to go to. Up ahead. Hurrah. Pull-up jumper. Second time he's done that in this half.
That was a 4-on-1 break that Indiana didn't convert. The ball should have been passed early. Mike Davis thought there was a foul on a play. Hollis Price with 2 great defensive plays against the break.
Hurrah with 11. Sooners by 7.
It's March Madness. Elite 8, the Final Four. And what will you see on the courts? Nothing. Those who lose get nothing. Those who win, nothing. Because everyone on the court is drinking Aquafina. The numbers do not lie. Zip, 0, nothing. Only Aquafina makes nothing this pure and refreshing. Now that's a sixth man. Aquafina riding the pine is the official water for the NCAA championships.
This is a 1-on-4 1-on-4 break right here. Leach is the last guy. You want to fake here and go over to the right. This was a bad play by Perry. He goes to the wrong man, and Hollis Price with a tremendous steal. Really had the numbers against him, Jim. A small man, 1-on-4. He makes the play. Ara makes the jump shot. Ara with that perfect form on that jumper.
And it's a 4-point turnaround with that. Shot clock is off to close the half.
Let's check the defense right now. They're still in this semi matchup. Coach Sampson has really switched the defenses around on Indiana, particularly now with a freshman point guard out there. He's having a hard time recognizing.
7 seconds. They call for play 4. Odell, 3-point shot. Counts it down. Huge shot for the Hoosiers.
Well, McGee never thought he'd take it.
Nope, no basket. Had it gone. So Odell delivers a key 3 to close out the first 20 minutes. McGee, the big story for the Sooners, 14 points and 7 rebounds. Let's go over to Bonnie Bernstein.
All right, Calvin, you're up by 4, but your leading scorer, Hollis Price, only has a point. How important to get him involved in the second half?
Well, I thought he was taking good looks, though. I mean, as long as they're getting good looks, he'll come around. That last sequence there in the last minute, he had 2 great open looks from the 3. He'll hit those shots.
Coach, thank you. Jim?
All right, as we said, Hollis Price is superstitious, and what he does in a situation like this, he goes right to the locker room and washes those hands. Greg and Clark coming up, Singler at the half from Atlanta.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Men's National Semifinals is sponsored by the all-new Saturn Vue, American Express, Autotrader.com, and by Miller Lite.
Days go by and still I think of you. Days when I couldn't live my life without you. Without you.
Your granddaughter, too far away. The dollhouse it took you 3 months to build. Who can you trust to get it there? That's where Mailboxes Etc. comes in. We have 4,400 locations worldwide. We'll pack your item to the highest shipping standards to make sure it arrives on time without losing a shingle. Mailboxes Etc. There's help in here. Real help.
At Michelin, our tires are rigorously tested. They're laser checked, x-rayed for structural integrity. And finally, no tire leaves the factory without a thorough hand inspection. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
A lot of companies put out promotional calendars. Great idea for 7-Up. But instead of models, I've decided to use the 7-Up truck drivers. It's all you, baby. It's all you. Love the camera. Yes, very sweet, elegant.
You're trying to escape. You're trying to get out.
Not that good. Exit! That's genius. Sexy, kind of.
Greg Gumbel back in our anchor position inside the Georgia Dome. Coming up on Singular at the half, Clark's first half analysis and presentation of the Chevrolet Player and Coach of the Year awards after this.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars, and let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
Get a powerful desktop PC without the desk. The Intel Pentium 4 Processor M, designed for notebooks.
Follow the NCAA tournament with live scores, stats, and analysis in the Game Center only at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline.
Catch the smash hit, CSI, Thursday on CBS. It's all here.
Ford Explorer, a Best Pick Award from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, leaving the competition in the dust. With a third-row seat that offers the most head and leg room in its class. And over 100 new innovations, including independent rear suspension, not found on Chevy, Dodge, and Toyota. So if you want to see the competition, check the rear view mirror. Get $1,500 cash back, and current Ford owners get an extra $1,000 cash on the 2002 Explorer. Only at your local Ford store, home of 5 of the 10 best sellers.
A bank should do more than just wait for you to come along. A bank should make opportunities appear. The bank that works.
Get your Jetta before someone else does. Because with offers like this, they're going fast.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular, the wireless company that supports self-expression nationwide.
Here at the Georgia Dome, 20 minutes are in the books of our first semifinal of the evening. Our score at halftime, Oklahoma 34 and Indiana 30. Welcome to Singular at the Half, everyone. Check out these numbers. Tom Coverdale for Indiana, 15 minutes on the floor, 0 points. Hollis Price, 1 point on the night. Quantus White, no points, 1 assist. I'm joined by Clark Kellogg as usual. Strange things happening here in the first half.
Well, when you look at the backcourt scoring, neither team has gotten it from their backcourt like they expect to, but that means the guys inside have been doing a lot of the work, Greg. You take a look at some key stats. Oklahoma, an excellent free throw shooting team, the best free throw shooting team remaining in the field, made 11 of 13. Turnovers, not a problem for either team, not much happening behind the three-point line, but the work was done inside, especially for the Hoosiers. Jared Odo inside with the layup there, 2 of his 11. Then Jeffrey Newton came in and gave the Hoosiers a big lift after Jared Jeffries went to the bench with foul trouble. He scored 6. For Oklahoma, it was Aaron McGee, 14 points and 7 boards. And look at him do work on that weak side glass. And he made a tough shot here over the good defense of Jared Jeffries. Nice quick release and a feathery touch, and then watch him carve out space in the low post right against the shot blocking Newton. So basically most of the scoring damage done inside by both teams.
We remember Indiana raining those threes down on Kent State. There were 15 out of 19. Oklahoma's not letting them do that tonight. Indiana just 2 out of 7 so far from behind the three-point line. This reminder, for official NCAA Final Four merchandise, just click on shop at cbs.sportsline.com. America Online users, enter the keyword CBS Sportsline. Well, it is springtime. That can mean only one thing. It's time for the presentation of the Chevy Player and Coach of the Year Awards. Past recipients of the Players Award include North Carolina's Michael Jordan and last year's winner Shane Battier of Duke. Coaches honored with the award include Duke's Mike Krzyzewski and Al Skinner of Boston College, who won it last year. And now, Leslie Visser with this year's winners.
Today, we conclude the 2001-2002 edition of the Chevrolet Scholarship Program with the presentation of the Player and Coach of the Year Awards as selected by the CBS Sports staff. Here with me to present the awards is Chevrolet's General Manager, Kurt Ritter. Kurt, great to see you again.
Thanks, Leslie. College basketball is a sport rich in tradition. And for the past 32 years, we've been building a tradition of our own, the Chevrolet Scholarship Program. Through our contributions to the nation's colleges and universities, we played a small but important part in helping an entire generation of young men and women achieve their dreams. Our promise is simple: one game at a time, one donation at a time, but our impact has been significant, almost $8 million since the program began. We're proud to be a part of college basketball and to recognize the outstanding accomplishments of today's student athletes. And we're equally proud to reward students all over the country who we feel represent what Chevrolet is all about: hard work, integrity, commitment, and pride. Today, we're here to honor two people who also share those values and do it better than most. First, our Chevrolet Player of the Year. He's Jason Williams from Duke.
For the second consecutive year, the honor goes to a player from Duke. This year, it's two-time All-American junior guard Jason Williams. In each of the last two seasons, Jason has averaged more than 20 points a game, and his determination has kept Duke as one of the country's elite teams.
Congratulations, Jason. It's my honor to present you with the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player Trophy Award for this past season.
Thank you. It's a great honor to get the Chevrolet Player of the Year. First of all, I just want to thank God for allowing me the opportunity to be here. And second of all, I'd like to thank my mother and my father. They've been there with me through all the harsh times. And third, I just want to thank all my family at Duke, my team, my coach, and family meaning everybody has helped me get to where I'm at right now. Thank you.
Jason, you've been so decorated, such a storied career. Can you talk a little bit about this year and Duke's early exit from the tournament?
Well, it's been a little difficult in realizing that, we're here in Georgia Dome and, seeing all the excitement building around the atmosphere. It's pretty difficult knowing that we could have been here. But I think overall, I've been seeing the bigger picture more lately, just in the fact that, I have won. Even though we haven't won national championship this year, we won one last year. And, I've won just in the sense that I've been with a great program and a great family, my mother and my father especially.
And you'll be graduating in May. Congratulations to you, Jason. You'll be much missed in college basketball. And now the Chevrolet Coach of the Year presentation. This season's winner is Coach Kelvin Sampson of Oklahoma. For the 6th time in 8 years, Coach Sampson has guided the Sooners to a 20-plus win season. He's also led his team to a second straight Big 12 tournament championship and a trip to the Final Four here in Atlanta, where the Sooners are seeking their first ever national championship.
Congratulations, Coach. I'm proud to present you with the Chevrolet Coach of the Year Award trophy and a $2,500 donation to the General Scholarship Fund of the University of Oklahoma. And best of luck in the Final Four.
Kurt, thanks to Chevrolet and CBS for this great award, and I would like to accept it on behalf of my basketball team, our coaching staff, and the University of Oklahoma. It's a great award. Thank you.
And Kelvin, congratulations to you. I was wondering, much was made of Halle Berry and Denzel Washington winning their Academy Awards. Do you have a sense of history being the first Native American to qualify for the Final Four?
That's something that I've always been proud of, Leslie, is representing the people that I represent. But the thing that I've always done is I think I'm representing all minorities.
Congratulations to you. And most of all, thanks to you, Kurt, for your continued support of college athletics and academics through the Chevrolet Scholarship Program.
All right, Leslie, thank you. And while we have a moment, we'd like to extend our best wishes to Duke coach Mike Krzyzewski, who's recovering from hip replacement surgery. A heartfelt get well soon, Coach K, from all of us here at CBS Sports. Now, our Mountain Dew Eye Vision play for the first half may very well be one of the best plays you've seen in the entire tournament.
A terrific defensive play by Hollis Price, who struggled offensively. Watch him get back defensively and make a clean play on the ball as George Leach tries to get to the bucket, and then he takes it the other way and finds Ebi Ara. The sweet shooting forward knocks down the two-pointer for the Sooners.
Not a bad play by the little big man here. Now are the first 5 finalists of the Singular Wireless Most Expressive Fan promotion. Log on to Singular.com to cast your vote for the most expressive fan, and stay tuned for the second semifinal game to see the rest of the finalists. We thank you for watching Singular at the Half. Will the Hoosiers or the Sooners vie for the national title on Monday night? In 20 minutes, we'll have the answer. Jim and Billy are back with the second half right after this.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular, the wireless company that supports self-expression nationwide.
Can you say hi?
Please hold for
Never pay for long distance, never pay for roaming with Singular Wireless. And now for March Madness, get 3,500 night and weekend bonus minutes plus a great deal on a Nokia phone. Welcome to nationwide self-expression.
Got a problem. Nelson's in way over his head in that bridge project. Can you get up there and take over?
Yes, ma'am.
Stokowski in for Nelson.
There is a start, there is a finish, and in the journey between, there are dreams. The NCAA Hall of Champions keeps these dreams alive for you. More than a museum, the NCAA Hall of Champions takes you on an interactive journey. Relive some of the most inspirational moments in collegiate sports history and walk in the steps of a student athlete. At the NCAA Hall of Champions, you'll find something for every fan. Discover what it means to be a champion. The journey begins inside.
Growing up, all we wanted to do was play. But as the world opened up to us, it became easier to get sidetracked. And just one single bet, one simple step can blow not only your education, but a chance to compete in the sport that we love.
They watch from the stands while their money changes hands.
The only thing worth betting on is ourselves.
Don't cross that line.
What would be your reaction if you knew you could go to Sears right now, get a brand new Mitsubishi big screen TV, and pay absolutely nothing for 6 months? Of course, your reaction may vary. Sears, national retailer of Mitsubishi projection TVs.
Championship Monday, see why Everybody Loves Raymond was last week's #1 comedy. Don't miss Raymond at a special time. Then, meet the star of the smash hit comedy, Baby Bob.
On my new CBS show, I play a talking baby, which you can imagine is a real stretch for me. On my last show, I was a renegade cop who played by his own set of rules. Hopefully you'll buy me as a talking baby.
A brand new Baby Bob after Raymond, Championship Monday.
Aaron McGee with 14, Ebby Ara with 11. Oklahoma leads by 4 at halftime.
Well, Jim, we talked about some of the keys in the game. Raining threes, and Oklahoma did a great job against Indiana. Just 2 for 7 from three-point range. They never really got squared up out there. In-your-face defense. We expected Oklahoma to be a little bit more aggressive, but there you can see Indiana, not much of an assist-turnover ratio. The quick whistle. I think the referees have refereed a very fair game, but you can see right here, Oklahoma getting an advantage. I think that's because they played a lot of zone defense in that first half. And Coverdale's impact. Well, Jim, he did start, but you can see right here, he's had little or no impact in terms of his ability to put offensive points on the board.
Oklahoma's 28-1 this year when leading at halftime. Second half of semifinal 1 next.
Introducing the agile all-wheel drive Saturn Vue. At home in almost any environment.
Wednesday, a new adventure begins when teams race from the heart of Africa to the bustle of Bangkok.
Get away from our taxi!
All new Amazing Race, CBS Wednesday.
On TV's most watched show, the investigators of CSI will see through the eyes of a killer.
Spin, spin, spin the globe. It's your turn to spin the globe.
All around the world, Siemens is energizing the cities and towns we live in. We engineer new ways to efficiently generate, distribute, and use power. And by providing energy to people everywhere, we're giving them the power to live better.
Spin, spin, spin the globe. It's your turn to spin the globe.
Ice and hockey, racing and winning. Great matches, but here's the best. The March matchup. From now until Monday, put $1,000 down and we'll match it for a total down payment of $2,000 on Dodge Ram, Durango, or Stratus. Plus, get a generous cash allowance or low financing. Plus, get 7 years or 100,000 miles of engine and transmission protection. Great products, great protection, great values. And until Monday, a great match, like the open road and a Dodge.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Men's National Semifinals is sponsored by Mountain Dew, Midas, Microsoft, and by Mercedes-Benz.
What did you see with that Microsoft Agile move of the first half?
Well, what we did see is a young man that came in the game, George Leach, played only 6 minutes, 2 points, 2 blocks, 1 rebound. Here he is moving without the ball beautifully. Tom Coverdale gets him the ball. Leach stuffs it. I think that it surprised Oklahoma to see him come in so aggressively off that bench.
What do you expect we're going to see in the second half out of the two stars who were really shut down in the first half? Jeffries for Indiana and Price for Oklahoma.
Well, obviously, Jeffries is going to get back in this game, but he's going to have to become much more effective in the low box.
All right, Armin Katayan, what do you have?
Well, I'm talking to Mike Davis, lamenting the fact a lot of second chance points for Oklahoma here, but he said Coverdale, Jeffries, and Fife have to step up. Only 3 points in the first half, and he said Jared Jeffries, he said we need 20 points out of him. And it's interesting, Jim, the last words out of Mike Davis's mouth to me was, that's a really good basketball team. So he knows what he's up against, obviously. Back to you.
Thank you. Jeffries with only 9 minutes of action in the first half. 3 points, all at the line, and then to the bench with 2 fouls.
Jim, Indiana, the hottest shooting team coming in this tournament. There goes down to McGee again. A good job. I'm surprised that Jeffries is still playing him one-on-one.
Look at Coverdale, calls the timeout.
Smart move by Coverdale, but I don't think that Indiana can keep Jeffries on McGee.
Hoosiers timeout. We'll be right back.
The outside may change, but the soul remains the same.
From oil changes to brakes to tune-ups, customers feel confident knowing Midas Total Car Care has their car running in top shape.
She's running great. Let's jump the bridge.
But where do you go? You go. What are you gonna do? Total Car Care. Midas, we do that.
When software quickly connects supply and demand, that's 1 degree of separation. That's business with .NET from Microsoft.
Yo, he got next.
All right, Webber.
Discover a sensation as real as the streets. Mountain Dew Code Red.
You win NCAA prizes with this. You gotta drink Mountain Dew to do that. You drink it? Oh, I drink it all the time. See, we both drink it. You need to drink it too.
Robert De Niro is the mob boss with a problem. I got stressed. Billy Crystal is his shrink.
You don't hear the word no very often. It's more like, no, please, no, no.
Analyze this, CBS Sunday.
We've been enjoying these pictures from the Pontiac Vibe Skycam. Indiana ball here in the opening seconds of the second half.
Jim, one of the things that you have to look at, Brown has only taken 120 shots on the year. And on the other side of that equation, McGee has taken 428. You know that Jeffries playing Brown has got a much better chance to stay in this game. Here he is on the offensive end. He has to be really careful about a charge.
Jeffries hits his first field goal of the game.
And let's see that matchup again. It's Odell on Brown. And if you're Calvin Sampson, you want to see this ball going into McGee as much as possible.
Traveling. Jabari Brown says, wait a minute. First player ever from the Virgin Islands to play in a Final Four. From St. Thomas.
A rather circuitous route to get to Oklahoma for Mr. Brown, Jim. Florida International as a freshman.
Miami for the end of his high school run.
That's
after
right.
Playing for Cyril Benjamin down at Charlotte Amalie. Here's Jeffries, 3-point shot.
Oh!
At home. And that puts Indiana up by 1.
That is an omen. Indiana is 16-1 when Jeffries makes a 3-point shot. Even one that Banks in.
Well, what did Davis want? 20? He's already got 5 quick ones in the first minute.
But here's a problem.
And right over Jeffries. No foul, though.
And still no move by Indiana to get him off McGee. And I guarantee Oklahoma's going to go down there and test him on that. And here we see again the matchup zone by Oklahoma. They showed it in the first half, and they're going with it right now.
Coverdale, open 3. Good look. And it's good for the 2-point lead. So the guys that Davis said had to get on track, Coverdale and Jeffries, have done so.
Oh, nice rebound by Brown.
Took it right out of the arms of Fife.
Great timing.
Ara. And Jeffries clears for the Hoosiers.
Good open look. You give Ara many of those, and he's going to make them.
Jeffries on the drive, and McGee on the reach-in.
There's showing the versatility of Jeffries. Steps outside, can put the ball on the floor. Much as we'll see Drew Gooden in the second game. 2 of the most versatile big men in college basketball.
Well, he draws the second on McGee, and just as you think there are advantages for Oklahoma in that matchup at the other end, I think Jeffries feels like he can really take McGee outside and try to throw
and that's
him
a
in.
third. That's a third foul. What happened? Fife running right in to try to make the cut. McGee puts him on his back. This is a huge break for Indiana. And Fife, a former high school quarterback, gets clotheslined here. You'll see it right here. Pow! Right in the neck. Fife from a family that's got some Final Four experience. His brother Dugan played it with that Fab Five team. He didn't get into the Final Four, but he was on the squad, and his father coached at Michigan in '76 when they played against none other than Indiana in the Final Four.
So the third on McGee, who stays in there, and that ball kicked out belongs to Oklahoma. Thursday on CBS, the investigators of CSI will look through the eyes of a peeping Tom turned killer. You won't believe what they see. Don't miss TV's most watched show, an all-new CSI crime scene investigation. Thursday on CBS.
Now, we've got foul problems for 2 of the key players in this game, Jeffries and McGee. Dietrich loses the handle.
And Indiana comes out with it. Coverdale. Coverdale puts it up, and long rebound out to Dietrich.
Indiana has not done a good job when they have the numbers on the break tonight, Jim. That's about the 3rd time they came down with a chance to make an easy play and made it difficult.
Again, McGee on Jeffries.
No doubling down.
And a whistle.
Oh,
and with
there
the
it is.
leg, that's going to be number 3 on Jeffries.
I really do not understand this matchup for Indiana. They can switch Odell over and allow Jeffries to guard a guy that's not going to touch this ball. Mike Davis has got to make the change. And it's not going to be made here on this inbounds pass. Oklahoma go right back to McGee again.
McGee, a jumper outside, bangs it home for a 2. They clarify a tying 2 at 38.
And what also this does for Jeffries to be in this kind of foul trouble and see Oklahoma playing his zone, McGee doesn't have as big a challenge. But Jeffries' ability to use that pump fake and drive, he has to worry about a charge on the offensive end.
Odell, baseliner. All Oklahoma underneath for that one. Thomas Price still trying to get his game started.
Well, you know what, Jim? I really loved what Calvin Sampson said. Price is the leader on this team. He has not forced any bad shots.
Selby off the back of the rim. Oklahoma 1 out of 9 from 3, Billy. Bounce pass inside, stripped away, and Ara comes out.
That's Price's second huge steal in this game. Beautiful pass.
And Hornsby forced it at the other end.
That was Dietrich's fault by not cutting through to take Hornsby out of the way.
Quick passing sets up open 3. Fight for 3.
Coverdale did the smart thing there. As soon as he caught the ball, he was ready to make the pass.
His first points of the game. McGee fade away. Boy, he has that shot down.
He really does. And of course, Jeffries really handicapped here, having to guard him.
20 points for McGee and all of the Sooner points in the second half. Half their total for the game. Jeffries outside.
If you're Kelvin Sampson, that's where you'd like Jeffries to be taking some shots.
Price, that shot way off the mark.
Got to feel that it was hit on the arm a little bit.
Fife said no. I saw him shaking his head, but his last touched by Dietrich. Indiana's hit 3 out of 3 from behind the arc in this half to take the lead by 1.
Premium malt beverage.
We weren't technically a garage band since we practiced in a barn. We still make a lot of noise, only now it's on the phone.
Introducing AT&T Unlimited.
Luckily, I pay one flat rate and we talk till we're hoarse.
$19.95 a month for unlimited long-distance calls to any AT&T residential long-distance customer. Call all you want, whenever you want, and never watch the clock.
I love them, but I'm not going to pay a lot to listen to them. Nobody ever did.
Call 1-800-REACH-OUT to enroll.
Hi, I'm Susan McGinnis, news anchor for CBS Market Watch. I'm part of a worldwide team of journalists who keep you informed about the markets and your investments on TV, radio, and our website. It's where you should go first for the best information on the markets, analysis of your portfolio, and ideas. Our 24-hour coverage of breaking financial news combined with up-to-the-minute data help you make smart investment decisions. CBS Market Watch is the #1 source for financial news. It's more than just news. It's news you can use.
Survivor thinks he's controlling the castaways.
That's straight out of The Godfather.
But is this Don doomed?
Don't count me out.
A new Survivor you can't refuse. CBS Thursday.
Hoosiers dominating points in the paint. Oklahoma, the only of the 4 to win its conference tournament. Oklahoma winning the Big 12 championship. Duke last year was the only team at the Final Four to win a conference tournament, won the title. The year before that, Michigan State was the only conference tournament winner, won the title.
Well, that West region, Jim, had 10 of the 16 teams were conference tournament champions. So Oklahoma certainly was well versed out there. And here they go back again. Let's check the defensive assignments right now. Newton into the game. They're playing that zone defense. Matching up is Oklahoma.
And Moye returns also, Billy.
I think that's a good move right there. Moye and Newton, the most athletic players that Indiana can put on the floor.
Newton short on the jumper. Loose ball. Newton battling. And it's McGee looking for help. He is able to squeeze it over.
Brown wants the lob.
And Brown lays it in for the lead.
Brown runs the floor very, very well for a man his size. 6'10". He can get out there and go. Now watch this defense right now that Oklahoma is using. It helps McGee. It's a 1-2-2, but it's a matchup zone. McGee will not have to go out on Newton that far away from the basket, so basically you've got 2 guys in the paint defensively.
Fife jumper off the mark. Ara on the run, gets the roll.
He has such a great release on his shot.
Ebi Ara, the Big 12 newcomer of the year with 13.
Scored 52 points in the National Junior College Tournament. Should say enough as to whether a guy can score That's a great place where we've seen talent for many years.
How
Great
about
block
that?
by
They
Dietrich.
say it's off Indiana. Dietrich knocked it out of Jeffries' hands, and it was off Jeffries' knee.
Terrific shot block technique to get the ball on the way up. Now watch Dietrich right here. Goes down, gets all ball, and then for the second time in this half, the ball goes off Jeffries' foot.
Darian Selvey. McGee with a chance to get a breather. Steal some minutes, too, with the 3 fouls.
Hollis Price says Selvey's the best 6th man in college basketball. He hadn't had much of a game so far tonight.
White, that's a 2-pointer.
Solid defense by Coverdale, right in White's space.
Hey, we've got some good 6 men right here at the Final Four. Langford for Kansas, Nicholas for Maryland. These subs also for Indiana, Moye, Newton. Hoosiers had it up to a 3-point lead. They've given up the last 6. Moye, there he is. He ties it at 44.
And in this defense, unlike the man-to-man that Oklahoma plays, Indiana's getting a lot of good looks, Jim, from the perimeter game.
And they're shooting outstanding threes again, 6 of 11 in this one.
Just as I was surprised at that matchup that Indiana had with Jeffries playing against McGee.
Selvey missing, and Jeffries chases it down.
Nice
nifty move to shake free from Ara. He has Pipe on a wing. He'll go inside the Newton, and it's a foul on Dietrich.
Boy, give Jeffries some credit here. He makes the steal, and then that excellent dribbling move.
Monday on CBS, when Baby Bob Speaks, America Listens. Catch the smash hit comedy that everybody's talking about. All new Baby Bob. Monday, special Everybody Loves Raymond as well on CBS.
Jim, you don't see many 6'10" players that can put the ball on the floor with that unusual dribble as Jeffries did there. He's got Selvey on him. Indiana can go inside over the top to Jeffries. There he is.
Him in, and Dietrich was able to reach around and get a fingertip to knock it away.
Jim, you don't want to throw the ball. Oh, how about that?
And blocked out of there. Hoosiers with the numbers.
Jeffries is running.
Here comes the lob. Jeffries never had a full control of it. Price. And swatted away by Newton.
Coverdale has numbers if he can find them.
He finds it. It's Moye. He'll challenge Ara, and the foul on Oklahoma's Ara.
Some sequence right here up and down the court. Newton doing a terrific job on one end. He has all ball, pulls it down from Dietrich.
That's the second foul on Ara. 44-44.
All right, let's see here. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths.
A real fixer-upper for artistic creative types.
Formal dining room, a sweeping staircase. Oh, honey, a fireplace. Doesn't that sound fabulous? Honey, what do you think?
We'll take it.
The new 6-speed Acura CL Type S.
So, you hanging up the whistle, eh, Coach?
Yeah, kind of hard to believe.
So can a girl buy you dinner?
Coach, sorry, could you help me with something?
Sure.
This goes up there.
At Applebee's, we do our best to be part of the neighborhood.
Looks like you're going out of town for a while.
Yeah, 2-week training seminar in Arizona.
Training camp. A chance to bond with your teammates, to learn the newest tricks of the trade, get ready for another winning year. Geez, I really miss it.
Going away for a while, Residence Inn has everything you need to make life on the road feel more like home.
Here, this always works for me.
Now make 3 stays and earn 2 free nights. Call 1-888-MARRIOTT today. Residence Inn. Your Marriott awaits.
This Tuesday on DVD and video.
The ghosts around us all the time.
Ghosts?
13 ghosts. If you can't beat them, you just may join them. 13 Ghosts. Buy it this Tuesday on DVD and video.
15 years ago in a playoff right here at 11, Larry Mize hit one of golf's most unforgettable shots to win the green jacket. A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS. Moye fouled by Ara.
Well, this is not the way to use your head, but we talk about a young man that has given a big lift, and you can see Calvin Sampson, he's talking to his team, start using your head a little bit more. Those were some bad decisions on the break by Oklahoma when they had a chance really to build on a lead.
Oklahoma's missed its last 6, and 3 of those have been blocked.
Some major coaching decisions to be made in this game, and primarily, Jim, on the defensive end. How do you protect Jeffries? When do you put McGee back in the game? In Oklahoma, are you going to stay in more zone than man-to-man?
Newton down low, size advantage, and he makes it over Selvey.
Oklahoma playing an awful lot of zone against a team that really matches up against them in a zone defense better than they do man-to-man.
Blake Johnston is in the game for the first time for the Sooners, number 12. He can fire it from the outside. And here comes McGee, Bill. You were wondering how long he would sit. Seconds later, he returns.
As I said before, they can protect McGee in those zone defenses, but when they play the zone, Indiana, as we can see, has had a much better time getting open shot looks.
He was out for about 6 minutes. Jeffries almost landed on him, and he muscles his way to a tying 46.
Terrific job by McGee on the inside.
He has 22 for the Sooners.
That's his 13th 20-point game on the year.
Donald Perry back on the floor. Coverdale looked very tired before that last timeout.
Brown on Newton, who has just eaten him alive.
Beautiful move, Jeffrey Newton.
And Brown can't worry about picking up another foul. He's got to be aggressive in there. Newton's having a terrific postseason, Jim.
And starring here at home in his hometown of Atlanta.
Nice move by Mike Davis to take Jeffries off McGee.
Brown tips it in. Jabari Brown.
And again, Newton is not blocked. Newton doing a good job blocking out McGee, but Jeffries did not on Brown. Perry had his hands full as a freshman in that first half. Oklahoma not taking advantage of his shaky ball handling here in the second.
Newton, he has McGee behind him this time. Kick out, freshman Perry, 3. Yes! He's 3 out of 4 in the tournament from 3 after 3 out of 26.
And Jim, how about
the season?
Newton? How about Newton?
To spot him?
He really did. He spotted him on the opposite side. Perry had the presence of mind to stay over there and hold his ground. Much better when he doesn't have to handle the ball.
His shooting for Indiana from 3 is taking on Kent State proportions in the second half. They've hit all 6 in this half. Johnston drives easily for the basket.
Jeffries didn't want to take a chance at going to help out.
6 for 6 in the half from 3 after hitting their first 8 in that regional final against the Golden Flashes.
Well, it was only 15 out of 19 in that game, Jim.
Yeah.
So it was kind of interesting to hear Hollis Bryce say, we can't make 15 out of 19 in practice with nobody guarding us.
That's right, warm-ups. Well, they've got the change now. Jeffries on Brown and Newton on McGee.
Good adjustment. Even if Brown picks up a cheap one, you just don't want to have to guard McGee with Jeffries. Nice fake.
Well, Jeffries read it, though.
Another time, Jeffries with his dribble.
Over to Moye, and Indiana leads by 3 at the 8:40 mark.
2 brilliant plays by Jeffries on the steal and then the dribble to actually lead the break as a 6'10" man.
White. And a push-off called against Indiana before the shot.
There haven't been many college players that can do this at this size. Terrific dribbling, gets his composure, realizes he has Moye on the wing, makes the excellent pass in the perfect spot. Moye, as we talked about, extremely powerful, athletic enough to go up against Price and score.
Moye commits the foul at the other end.
He's hurt a little bit here, Jim.
Yeah, and not making it all the way to the bench quite yet.
It looks like he's holding his calf.
Second foul on Moye, but out for the moment, needing some attention from the trainers.
If you're Hollis Price, you have got to figure out how to start looking for some more shots.
McGee, that would have tied it. Tipped out to Fife. 3-point lead and the ball.
Jim, Price, too much of an offensive threat to be this quiet for this long. Another foul on McGee.
That's his fourth. Monday on CBS, catch an all-new late show with David Letterman. That's Monday on the Emmy Award-winning Late Show with Dave.
Calvin Sampson beside himself. He has to put McGee down on the bench. The zone defense didn't even save him.
Zindre comes in for McGee. McGee with 4.
And again, they stay in the matchup. Fife looking to get himself open, or Hornsby away from the zone. They've had some good looks against this matchup.
Coverdale needs help. Reset it, 15 on the shot clock. Fife, Zindre out there. Hornsby stuck for a moment. Newton takes it.
Are you kidding me?
Hits the 2-point shot. Had a foot on the line. They don't expect Newton to contribute from that far.
I wouldn't think so. He was 1 for 2 from 3 on the year.
The Indiana bench, that includes Newton, has outscored the Sooner bench 27-8. The Cinderella Hoosiers have the 5-point lead with 7:20 remaining.
Dennis, got a great deal for you. You sitting down? A potato chip ad, $1 million.
Not interested.
Dennis, I just talked to the chip people, and because you're you, they say $2 million.
What did I just say, Sam?
No, I know, right, sorry. I got them up to 2.5 mil, and there's no eating of the chips. You look at them.
For the last time, I don't do ads, all right?
No, you shouldn't.
And that's final.
That I know, you're right.
Done.
Exactly. I'll tell them, maybe.
Coming out of an Oklahoma timeout, and a live shot from Assembly Hall back on campus at Bloomington. It is packed. It is raucous. And they are counting down the time here with 7:20 to go. Can the Hoosiers do it?
And it's the Mike Davis era in Assembly Hall. Man-to-man the entire game by Indiana. And here's the guy I think has to get moving for Oklahoma, Hollis Price.
Still has not hit from the field the whole game. Selby shot, swatted away by Newton. Selby steps.
And Jim, I don't want to downplay at all the fact that Price is being guarded by the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year in Fife.
We'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. I'm back in town to get you on your feet again.
Get up.
Okay, fellas.
So what do you think? Good offense or good defense? Pick one for a chance to win a Volvo S60 at volvocars.com/questions.
Excuse me, this is my cab.
I'm sorry.
Can we share a cab?
Why not?
You're with Fidelity.
That's right.
Let me ask you something. I still have a 401k from a job that I had 3 jobs ago. Can I move that?
Most of the time, sure. It's called a rollover.
Really?
We can do all the paperwork, and you just sign and roll it into an IRA, and you can buy stocks or mutual funds, whatever you're comfortable with.
And I'd be in control of it?
Sure.
Get my life down to 1 sheet of paper.
That's right. Simplicity.
To invest, call, click, or visit Fidelity.
Brown makes me a hero. It lets my customers know I've shipped what I promised. It lets them track their own order from the time it's shipped until the moment it arrives. Brown gives me the time to make sales calls instead of tracking packages, which makes me a hero to my boss. Brown works. I get the credit. How terribly, terribly unfair.
better service, more sales. What can Brown do for you?
The new black is silver. Bacardi Silver Premium Malt Beverage. 5% alcohol by volume. Your night just got more interesting.
3 pilots have entered the Top Gun training program. 2 are flying high, but Lieutenant Kiki is struggling.
If something were to happen, he would be crushed.
An all-new American fighter pilot, CBS Friday.
Armin back here at the Final Four, where A.J. Moya has just left the court, headed towards the locker room. Jim, they've been working on his right hamstring, the back of that leg, for the last few minutes. I'm told he may come back into this game. Back to you.
Thank you, Armin. And you would think they would need him down the stretch. Odell's back in the lineup for Indiana. And here he is inside. He got pinned underneath Zindre. And a foul's called on Odell.
That was a rather easy basket, but set up again by Newton on a terrific pass. He is putting the ball on the floor, hitting from outside, blocking shots. I don't know if I've ever seen, Jim, a guy come off the bench and have this kind of production that was totally unexpected. I mean, he's had a good postseason, but he is playing an outstanding game tonight.
And Jeffries returns. He's had a good rest, 3 fouls. And Odell heads out with 2 fouls.
If you're Kelvin Sampson, 2 things you got to get done. You got to get Hollis Price in a position to start scoring, and you've got to wait for about 1 more minute and then bring McGee back into the game.
Can you imagine? Price is 0 for 6 from the field, and Oklahoma facing its biggest second half deficit of the tournament. Right on cue, he fires it down and out. And Coverdale with the quick hands comes out with it.
Indiana getting all the loose balls, Jim.
Indiana with its biggest lead of the game. Coverdale finds Newton for the 7-point lead.
Coverdale really limping right now. But he's going to, and here comes McGee and Brown in the game. It's time for Kelvin Sampson to say, I can't worry about fouls whatsoever.
A 9-2 run for the Hoosiers. Under 6 to play.
What Fife has been able to do is to keep Price right in front of him this entire game.
Price wanted it. Now he'll take it. 3-point shot at last.
Good job by Price getting himself loose in traffic. He's got to become much more aggressive.
And that team now only 2 of 13 from 3 for the game.
I'm expecting Oklahoma, Jim, to pick up their defensive pressure a little bit farther out.
Can you believe the 3-point performance at the other end?
Hornsby with one. Good screening.
And Indiana in the second half from 3 is the big story here.
That wasn't even that good a look for Hornsby and still made it.
Price fouled by Fife.
Boy, Fife is tired. Look at out there how hard he's been working against a real good offensive performer.
They've hit their 6 attempts in this half. This is the CBS Sportsline stat of the game. You can get complete tournament coverage at cbs.sportsline.com or America Online. Enter the keyword CBS Sportsline. It's actually for Indiana 7 straight when you take in Odell's shot at the closing seconds of the first half. 7 straight threes. McGee and Brown get back into the lineup. Fife for the second time.
Well, he
takes one on the chin.
Remember the last one, though, was a foul on the Oklahoma man, McGee. That one he had already fouled Price, who goes to the line as a 85% free throw shooter.
Every team has a heartbeat, says Kelvin Sampson, and Hollis is ours.
I think that Oklahoma is going to start picking up a little bit stronger. This is what I thought they'd do in the first half. Pick up full court. Make Coverdale really have to work.
Under 5 to play. 5-point lead for Indiana.
Defense is really extended. That ought to give Jeffries a chance if they pull him out to be able to get something down in low.
Newton full of confidence. Over McGee. Not this. Hold on. Foul. That's going to be it for McGee. They say he got him on the elbow.
He better be careful. He doesn't want to be too demonstrative here. But a great job by Newton, who is having the game of his life. He goes up on the elbow. You can see it was actually elbow to elbow created the foul, not the hands. McGee will have to sit. He had 4 fouls. Remember the foul trouble against Missouri, but was able to dodge that. He had 5 fouls and fouled out in the win in the Big 12 championship against Kansas. His team was able to pull it out 64-55. But believe me, Oklahoma would love to have him on the floor for the remaining 4 minutes and 40 seconds of this game.
He has been their offense today, and he's a senior, and he must hope that his teammates can rally here to extend his career.
I look for 2 things right now, Jim. Because McGee is on the floor, and you can see Price talking to Ara down there and White, the perimeter game is going to have to come alive for Oklahoma to get back in this.
Long rebound to Hornsby. Newton misses them both, and Indiana gets the bounce.
Coverdale never should have taken it down in the deep corner.
He got stuck and threw it out of bounds.
Yep, he got caught down there with no passing angle, had plenty of time on the clock because they had a new 35.
So Aaron McGee, all Big 12 performer who has starred in this tournament, gave him 22 points, 9 rebounds a game in the tournament, and hit that number today, right on it, 22. He's out. And Brown on the way up, Hornsby.
Good foul, though, by Hornsby. Brown had an easy dunk. And, Jim, one of the real subtle moves, and we talked about this as this game was moving on, when Indiana switched Jeffries over so that he didn't have that responsibility on McGee anymore, Jeffries stays on the floor with 3 fouls. McGee, over aggressive defensively, even in the zone, goes out with 5.
Jabari Brown, only 50% free throw shooter with 2.
And you can see why. Not a good release on that shot. Poor rotation. And now Oklahoma, if they're going to do it, is going to have to do it with full court pressure defense. Moyer probably not able to come back. Doesn't look that way down the other end.
He's come back to the bench, though. They had taken him to the locker room for a moment.
Here comes the full court pressure. Nobody helping out White.
That was never seen by the officials. Fife did a great job. Coverdale throws it away.
White really upset with his former high school teammate Price. Nobody talking whatsoever on that screen, and White gets killed right here.
How is that not a call?
On what?
On White.
Well, you can have contact that you gain an advantage.
Inside. Rob bangs it home, and it's down to 2 at the 4-minute mark.
And again, picking up full court, making things very difficult for Indiana. If Oklahoma looks back on this game, they've got to feel that they should have done more of this early in the first half.
White on the push-off.
By dropping back, Jim, inside the top of the key with those matchup zones, they did not put that typical Oklahoma pressure on Indiana. It gave Indiana confidence to look for the threes.
It'll be a 1-and-1 for Tom Coverdale. The story all week leading into this. Even his teammate Dane Fife tried to help him out. Gave him a book about Bear Bryant, how to play through pain, and he has played most of the way, but that's a big miss on the front end. And Indiana's only 6 out of 12 in this game from the line.
Kind of amazing, shooting better when they have somebody guarding them.
Yeah. Shooting better from 3 than free.
Right.
2 to tie, 3 for the lead. White got stuck. Selvey puts it up and in.
Almost like a rebound to himself. Smart play by Selvey.
Timeout, Indiana. A 7-point lead has been recovered by Oklahoma. Timeout, Hoosiers. Katane and Bonnie Bernstein, Jim Nance and Billy Packer back here at the Georgia Dome. The arrow belongs to Indiana, but the Hoosiers with 1 timeout. That's all, Billy.
Well, they have 1 timeout, but you can see Oklahoma picking up much farther out now. That means that there should be some space for Jeffries to get the ball. They have to figure out a way to get him the ball in the low post. He and Newton been a good high-low post combination. Here he is.
Coverdale and Price very active on him. And they're going to call a foul on Coverdale for pushing off.
Selvey and Price so quick. Coverdale having some problems on that ankle now, Jim. Very obvious.
He's turned it over a couple of trips.
Yep.
Thrown it away, and here commits the foul.
Coverdale's going to have to sit down. It seems like that ankle tightening up on him, but good defensive pressure by Oklahoma.
And here's a great example of where they miss Moye. Donald Perry comes back in. Mark Coverdale, father watching from Noblesville, Indiana.
Jim, that front end of the one-on-one that he missed before was a very critical free throw, particularly with this great free throw shooting team that Oklahoma has.
Selvey on a one-and-one, unable
Both
to
teams.
convert. Yep. Last 7 points to the Sooners to tie it at 60.
Oh, good lob.
Lob gets it to Newton, and he's able to hit it inside.
Now that's what is going to be available if they're going to put that pressure on the perimeter. Indiana has done a fine job today recognizing what the defense is giving him and taking advantage of it. Price trying to play without the ball.
Honest White goes back out. Hurrah, lost it for a moment. 12 on the shot clock. Spinning on Hornsby. On the run. Hoosiers box out, and it's Perry underneath.
You're exactly right, Jim. Great box out situation.
Perry gets past two Sooners, collided.
What happened? Newton actually created a screen on 2 Oklahoma players. Good recognition by Perry.
Under 2 minutes to play. The last 4 to Indiana. White stuck baseline. Price open 3. Oh, that spins out.
Mr. Newton, it was his law in this game. He is really playing well.
You don't defy the Newton law, especially in his hometown.
He has come back. There is that double screen.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at Jeffries. He actually was getting fouled, but he sets a double screen, and Perry recognized it, went right in for the layup.
Newton back to the line now. He missed his last 2 attempts. This will be a 1-and-1.
And a solid free throw shooter, though. 74%.
Solid on that one. 17 points. He has tied his career high, and we talked to the team this week. They would all tell you that he ended up with the ball in his hands at the end of that Duke game, and that symbolically meant a lot to Newton, and you can see his confidence soaring. He's got 12 in the second half. Hoosiers lead by 6.
Can you find the sports car in the newest Mazda?
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Ha. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
200 horsepower Mazda MPV. Body of a minivan. Soul of a sports car.
Gonna knock over a bank with a magic marker?
They're America's favorite bank robbers. Bruce Willis, Billy Bob Thornton, and Kate Blanchett. Bandits. Directed by Barry Levinson. Rated PG-13. Rental buy it Tuesday.
7-Up is proud to sponsor youth hockey. And for when they get thirsty, I've provided plenty of 7-Up. Because I care about the kids. 7-Up is now proud to sponsor youth swimming. Kick those legs, Tommy.
Cassie's first trip alone was from Boston to Los Angeles, and I was a mess. I was very nervous because it was her first trip, because it was one of the first times she'd been away from me for any length of time. She loves flying. I feel like I'm putting her in the hands of another family member. My name is Ann Waday. I'm a Mileage Plus customer with United Airlines.
Behold the hot and juicy Whopper. Flame broiled, never fried. crisp lettuce, crunchy dill pickles, onions, and red ripe tomatoes on a freshly baked bun. America's favorite burger just keeps getting better. Aren't you hungry for a Whopper now?
Follow the NCAA tournament with live scores, stats, and analysis in the Game Center only at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline.
A stunning Indiana performance to this point. The last 6 to the Hoosiers with 1:45 to play. The Oklahoma backcourt, Billy, not only Price but White off today as well. They're 1 of 14 combined from the field. 9 attempts for Price, 1 make, 0 for 5 for his former high school running mate, St. Augustine down in New Orleans.
Despite that, I think that Hollis Price has got to want the ball now in this situation. Here he is.
Driving on Fife, the floater, back of the rim. And it's Jeffries coming out with it. Indiana in no hurry. Hornsby looking for help. And a bump foul on Oklahoma. That's called on Selvey.
Pretty good job by Hornsby just to go ahead and tuck in that time to draw the foul. Price did what we expected, Jim. He took the ball, but it just wouldn't fall for him. Having one of those nights you want to forget.
Dietrich back into the lineup for Kelvin Sampson. And White's out. 1 and 1. That's the 9th team foul. It'll be double bonus rest of the way for the Hoosiers. Hornsby.
Not shooting on the year. Great free throws, which is surprising because he is a pure shooter from 3.
Kid who grew up in a small town in Louisiana of 1,000 people. Anacoca. Who watched the movie Hoosiers before every game his senior year in high school. 43 times he watched it. No doubt he was going to play for the Hoosiers one day. Selvey with the putback. 1:11 left. And the Indiana margin is 5. Timeout Sooners.
Let me tell you how it will be. There's one for you, 1940.
It's estimated Americans overpaid $311 million in taxes. That was $610 for each taxpayer. That $610 could have been yours. Now H&R Block will double-check last year's tax return free. We can refile past returns. You could get more money back.
'67-62. Indiana. Mike Davis in his first full year as the head coach at Indiana. Not awarded that title until the end of last season after his team was knocked out first round by Kent State. They come back this year, meet again in a regional final, beat them, and now he's a minute 10 seconds away from going to the championship game.
Ooh, great jump that time. Nice timing. Jim, you know what was really unique about the naming of Mike as the head coach? The victory over Duke was exactly 1 year, the anniversary of the date he was named coach. So pretty good way to celebrate first year anniversary.
2 shots for Donald Perry. You talk about anniversary dates. One thing that might have been in the cards for Indiana. Here we are on March 30th. On this day in 1940, Indiana won its first national championship. In 1987, Indiana beat Syracuse on the Keith Smart shot for the national championship. And let me not overlook, in 1981, Isaiah led them on this very day as well to a championship over North Carolina. 3 championships on this day alone in Indiana history.
Price down.
Wild scramble. Newton had it for a moment.
Arrow goes the other way, and there's not a foul here. Oklahoma gets a timeout. Really didn't have good possession of the ball.
Wow.
Kind of surprising there.
Didn't see that. 54 seconds left here at the Georgia Dome.
Look at these posers and wannabes. I mean those chicken fingers. Merely posing is spicy. You gotta try new KFC Blazing Crispy Strips.
All white breast meat chicken, freshly prepared, double marinated with a taste of chili and cayenne pepper for twice the spice. For limited time, KFC's got new spicy Blazing Strips. Get 3 strips, coleslaw, and a biscuit for only $2.99. Also available in the Colonel's Crispy Strips, the flavor that started it all.
Everybody in. I think the party's out here. There's fast food, and then there's KFC.
Jim, that was a huge timeout call there for Oklahoma because the arrow is pointing in favor of Indiana. Ball is scramble on the floor. Indiana never could get it in a tie-up situation.
Indiana's bench has outscored its starters 37-32. And a 25-point advantage over the Sooner bench.
Round 7, you've got to go ahead and score as quickly as possible.
By Hornsby.
Again, Hollis Price not looking. There's a foul by Price, not looking to create his own score. I realize he's not having a good offensive game, but he's got to put it on the floor and go to that basket.
And now you start to wonder, as they are going wild at Assembly Hall back in Bloomington, what will Moye be able to deliver if Indiana finishes this thing off? What will Moye be like on Monday, and Coverdale coming off of this with the ankle?
Well, it's going to be hard to tell until we talk to the trainers in this regard, Jim, for Coverdale and Moye, because those kind of injuries, the kind of thing that can tighten up, and in one day you're just not ready to go. But on the other hand, Coverdale showed how he could come back from what was a very bad situation in that twisting of the ankle a week ago. But both of them are not going to see action the rest of this way. Short.
Perry gets the roll. 9-point lead for Indiana.
Thinking 3.
Hurrah, misfire Newton. He has got to be our Chevy MVP.
And then some. An incredible performance for the young man that comes back to Atlanta. And we talked about great sixth men, Jim. He was beyond a sixth man tonight. Mike there with that scowl on his face. Boy, I'll never forget that reaction when Jason Williams hit the 3.
And he turned around.
And he went to the bench.
To his knees.
Kelvin Sampson. Team had a remarkable season considering the fact that he had to put together a group of junior college transfers to bring them to a Final Four in such a short period of time. Is quite an accomplishment, but they did not play with that kind of aggressive defense we expected in this game tonight.
And Billy, you thought they were jittery early.
I really did. I thought they were very tight offensively, and I didn't think aggressively on defense. They really went after Indiana. And then Calvin went to that zone a great deal, and Indiana took advantage of it. I think
this is all emotion.
Yep, this is so much emotion. And you know, here's another thing. There's the smile. Bob Knight in his second year took Indiana to the Final Four just exactly the same. There's his boy who is everywhere.
His son Antoine.
Floor.
Antoine is 3 years old. He sat with me yesterday.
He owns the court.
He sat with me yesterday at practice, and we had a television monitor there, and I said, "What's your favorite TV show, Antoine?" And he said, "Mike Davis."
Well, I was mentioning it. Bob Knight brought his second team at Indiana to a Final Four, was beaten by UCLA. So he did not get to the final game. So Mike Davis, who had a better record in his first year than Knight did in his first year at Indiana, now tops him in this regard as well.
Well, I'll say this. Bob Knight had a large hand on a lot of these kids coming to Indiana, and they, according to Indiana officials, have not heard from him on this run to the Final Four. Not a congratulatory call or anything, and I find that very regrettable. Here's Brown inside for the lay-in.
Too little, too late.
And the steal back, Dietrich unable to give him one last breath. And Perry ends up with the ball in his hands. A team with a lot of heart is set for Monday night. The Hoosier hysteria will carry over to the championship game in Atlanta. Indiana has advanced to the championship game in its school history 5 times. And in those 5 championship appearances, they are 5-0. This will be their 6th appearance. On Monday night, they will try to be the first number 5 seed to ever win the championship.
Dane Fife just said to his coach, "We've got one more for you." Put a big hug on him and heads to the sideline.
The Chevrolet players of the game. Jeff Newton comes back to his home city of Atlanta and stars with 19 points, a career high, and 4 blocks. And Aaron McGee, who at one time had half the Sooner total, ends with 22 points, fouling out on this one. 22 and 8, right on his NCAA tournament averages. Yes, Davis and Goliath. Night and day at Indiana, or is it night to Davis? The Hoosiers are going to the Monday Night Championship game.
This is a new Pontiac Vibe. What do you think of it? It just stands out, yeah. Yeah, dude, it's nice. The little chrome, all chromed out. What do you like about the Vibe?
There's a party in it.
The new Pontiac Vibe, all the way to the NCAA Men's Final Four with CBS Sports.
Man, what are you up to in those Old Navy legendary cargoes? Old Navy legendary cargoes. The pants the legends are made of, with pockets to spare. They're the zip-offable, high-flyable, off-roadable, cliff-climbable way to get into and out of trouble. At rock-solid prices, just $26.50 and up. They're not just cargoes. They're legendary cargoes. Only at Old Navy. You dig?
Premium malt beverage, reminding you that whatever it takes, never drink and drive.
There's a song I want to sing. There's a bell I want to ring. Every place that I go, it's easier with you. I am free, free to express myself. Around the world and on Main Street, I am free to live my dream.
You see them everywhere you go. Warnings, cautions, reminders that your safety triangle needs attention. Because just one worn part could compromise your ability to stop, steer, and maintain stability. So have a safety triangle inspection and demand quality replacement parts, like Monroe shocks and struts. After all, it's not just your safety on the line.
Thursday on Survivor. Can a tribe have 2 leaders?
Everyone knows I'm running the show. First chance I get, I'm gonna get you.
The battle between them heats up.
Do I have stupid written on my forehead?
Plus, it's a competition filled with split-second timing and controversy.
It would be better if we actually lost this challenge.
Don't miss the #1 reality series.
An old guy like me with 3 women, does it get any better than that?
An all-new Survivor, CBS Thursday.
Welcome back to Atlanta, Georgia, everyone. Greg Gumbel with you from inside the Georgia Dome, where the Indiana Hoosiers have just beaten Oklahoma by a score of 73-64. Want to remind you, coming up next, Game 2 of our national semifinal doubleheader. It'll be Kansas against Maryland. The tip time is 8:52 Eastern time, and we get a look inside the Kansas Jayhawks locker room. Clark Kellogg, it is just as quiet as the locker rooms of the first 2 games.
That's the way guys prepare now, Greg. They
put on their headphones, they think about what their business is at hand, and they get ready to go out and try to get it accomplished.
There are some unbelievable numbers that come off of this first game as you take a look at the Jayhawks preparing to come out to meet the Maryland Terrapins. But from that first game, consider this. Consider that Indiana shot 6 for 6 from behind the three-point line in the second half, while Oklahoma shot 1 for 12.
Well, that was one of the differences in the game, but I really thought Indiana's ability all game long to go inside, to attack in the paint, and make it easier to get some of those better looks outside in the second half.
There are so many aspects of this game that are still to be covered, but we'll pause here for a moment and take you down onto the floor. And Jim Nance and Billy Packer are with the winning team.
All right, Greg, America loves a Cinderella, and we've got one set for Monday night. Mike Davis, everybody was saying around here that Oklahoma was going to have a big performance here. Did you hear all that talk? Did your team hear that?
I definitely heard it, but God has showed me favor. I keep saying he's blessing this team, he's blessing me. I'm not saying he's going to give us the victory, but he put me here. And he put me here for a reason. I just feel like every game we go into, we're going to win.
How about the performance of Atlanta's very own Jeffrey Newton?
Unbelievable. I took him out in the beginning of the game, and I put him back in. I said, when you're ready to play, Jeff, come back in and play. He said, Coach, I'm with you. And he played great. I mean, just to be able to come back home and play like this in front of his home crowd is unbelievable.
And now you're playing for the title on Monday night. What was that like out there for you today, Jeff?
Man, I can't even explain how I feel right now. It's just good to be able to come home and perform in front of the home crowd and get the win.
We've seen you many nights have great nights in the low post, but your two big plays today with dribbling exhibition on the outside. What was that all about?
I mean, I try to do what I can to help my team. They were double teaming me on the post in front of me. Noodle working in the post. All I could do is how to rebound and push the ball in the break and get good passes to open guys.
Were you surprised at Aaron McGee, the way he came after you right at the beginning of the ball game?
I figured he would. I mean, he's a great player, got a great touch around the basket. Our goal was to get him in foul trouble, and that worked out because if we didn't, probably would have gone for 40 on us.
Hey, Coach, what's the early story on Moye for Monday night as well as Coverdale?
Well, we couldn't hold Moye and Coverdale if we wanted to. Those guys would be ready. I thought Donald Perry played great.
Yeah,
you know, he hit some really big free throws for us. Everybody was down on him, but we knew he could do it.
Indiana's been to the championship game now 5 times, 5 previous time in school history, and the Hoosiers have never lost in the title game. What do you expect Monday night?
I've already claimed the championship.
Oh, he's already changed on us.
There you go. Good luck, guys. Spectacular performance. Jeff, Jared, Coach Davis. Let's go back over to Greg.
All right, Jim, everybody keeps talking about Indiana as a Cinderella, but Kelvin Sampson said, you know, Cinderella didn't beat Duke University. We're back to Atlanta right after this.
I am a college fanatic, basketball. I love it. I think I do my best work when I'm a little bit on edge and have a little bit of nervousness in me. I have a sharpness to my game.
On the floor! On the floor!
Each one of my crew member has to know he has to do his third. We're a 3-man crew.
That's a good call there, partner.
The teams make the good game. When they're playing good, you look pretty good.
Is there no way to keep Israelis and Palestinians from killing each other? And if there is a way, what is it? Leslie Stahl and Ariel Sharon, Sunday on 60 Minutes.
On TV's most watched show, the investigators of CSI will see through the eyes of a killer
He's got a peephole into every room.
and into the mind of a witness.
He's a psychic. He has details.
But they never expected to see this.
I got an officer down.
CSI Thursday. Don't watch it alone.
Catch the smash hit comedy the New York Times calls genuinely funny. Baby Bob, CBS Monday.
It starts by rejecting the notion of what is and embracing what will be.
Passing by.
The all-new Ariel from Suzuki. It has more features, more standard horsepower, and better acceleration than Honda Civic and Ford Focus.
Drive on.
You knew this was coming. You just didn't know from where. Introducing the new Suzuki Ariel.
Get up and go.
Lease a Suzuki Ariel S today for $199 per month with only $1849 to start.
He used her power to rule an empire.
Tomorrow my victory is complete.
Now, one man has been sent to free her. Come for the woman and your head. And fulfill his destiny. On April 19th, the adventure begins.
the Scorpion King. Rated PG-13.
Where are the cars we were promised? The land-based rocket ships with cockpits full of computers and video screens. The cars with shapes we had seen only in our dreams. Where are the cars we were promised? They're closer than you think. Introducing the new Infiniti G35.
This portion of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Jiffy Lube.
The second of today's national semifinals is just minutes away. Kansas against Maryland. The tip time is 8:52 p.m. Eastern time here in Atlanta. Jayhawk junior forward Drew Gooden, the Big 12 Player of the Year, has averaged more than 16 points and 13 rebounds per tournament game. For the Terrapins, Juan Dixon leads the way. This season's ACC Player of the Year is Maryland's all-time leading scorer. He's posted at least 27 points in 3 of Maryland's 4 2002 tournament outings.
And now an Enberg essay, presented by Pacific Life.
Well, last year in Minneapolis, Dick Enberg, in his essay, paid a special tribute to the basketball seniors, kids who stayed with their collegiate program throughout their entire 4 years of eligibility. That tribute spawned a new national award, and Dick joins us now to announce the first ever winner. Dick.
Thank you, Greg. And the athletes themselves wrote this essay. And the 120-year-old Kansas City club, home to past presidents Eisenhower and Truman, has initiated the honor, naming the Senior Class Award. The inspiration for my essay a year ago was Shane Battier. He resisted all the obvious temptations to stay for a senior year, and he won All-America. He won National Player of the Year awards as well as Academic All-America of the Year, and led Duke to the national championship. So Battier is the honorary first winner. But here now, alphabetically, are the 10 finalists for the first ever Senior Class Award. Maurice Baker, Oklahoma State. Baker, two-time All-Conference, ranked in the Cowboys' top 3 in rebounding, assists, and scoring. Lonnie Baxter, Maryland, just 23 rebounds away from becoming the only Maryland player ever to post 1,500 points, 1,000 rebounds. Sam Clancy, Southern California, the Pac-10 Player of the Year, led his team in scoring and rebounding. Dan Dickow, Gonzaga, led his conference in scoring, first-team All-America, Academic All-America. Juan Dixon, Maryland, first-team All-America, 3-time All-Conference, 3 times on the All-ACC defensive team. Lynn Greer, Temple, 2 times All-Atlantic 10 with a 23-point average, one of the top 10 scorers in the nation. Udonis Haslem, Florida, led the Gators in scoring and rebounding. SEC All-Conference 4 consecutive years. Steve Logan, Cincinnati, All-America. Only the great Oscar Robertson scored more points for the Bearcats. Tayshaun Prince, Kentucky, 2-time All-SEC, led the Cats in scoring this year. And Preston Shumpert, Syracuse, 2-time All-Big East. He led the Orange in both scoring and rebounding. I think you'll agree that's quite an all-senior All-America team. The winner was selected by national ballot and will be honored at a black tie gala in Kansas City 3 weeks from tonight. And the winner is Maryland's great one, Juan Dixon. Dixon has become the top scorer in Terrapins basketball history. He's been honored this year as both the ACC Player of the Year and AP All-America. His life story exudes inspiration. A product of Baltimore's toughest neighborhood, Dixon, as a teenager, lost both his mother and his father from heroin-related HIV. His skinny stature, 6'3" and 150 pounds, encouraged only modest interest in college recruiters. But his Maryland coach, Gary Williams, saw in him the fight to survive and succeed. And that he has. Dixon completes his career as a senior superstar. Juan Dixon, the 2002 inaugural Senior Class Award winner. Dixon finished ahead of Gonzaga's Dan Dickow and Steve Logan of Cincinnati. Dixon and the women's senior class winner, Sue Bird of Connecticut, will receive their awards in Kansas City on Saturday, April 20th. Congratulations. Both personified the acronym CLASS, celebrating loyalty and achievement
by staying in school.
And who wouldn't want to coach that group of stars, huh, Dick?
You bet.
Thanks very much. Tip time approaches for Kansas and Maryland, a pair of #1 seeds, each with an abundance of talent and motivation. We'll come back, including a talk with Kelvin Sampson of Oklahoma from the Georgia Dome.
What are you guys doing in there? My office! Oh!
Many internet services use lots of words to sell you, but conveniently forget to tell you how much they cost. Just for the record, most cost over $20 a month. Meanwhile, NetZero and Juno are only $9.95, less than half the price. Maybe the others prefer words because the numbers speak for themselves. Join the millions who have united online. Call 877 only $9.95 or visit us at netzero.net or juno.com. Additional phone charges may apply.
As you all know, winning is a great feeling, and it's okay to celebrate. The way you celebrate says a lot about you. So, keep up the good work. Being responsible, respecting the law, celebrating safely. It's all about having a good head on your shoulders. Figuratively speaking.
A message from the National Association of State Universities and Land-Grant Colleges and Anheuser-Busch.
Catch the smash hit comedy
I'm a miracle! Yay!
with a lot to say.
I got the gift of gab.
Baby Bob, CBS Monday, right after a special Raymond.
Race through the most exotic places on Earth. Don't miss an all-new Amazing Race, CBS Wednesday.
No one knows what it's like to feel these feelings. In a white room with black curtains. Can I just have one more dance? Let it be, let it be, let it be.
97.1 FM, The Drive, timeless.
Jiffy Lube signature service oil change every 3,000 miles. If you want your car to run like a well-oiled machine, take it to the place that works like one. Jiffy Lube, the well-oiled machine.
Pennzoil's new high-mileage vehicle oil, now with Jiffy Lube.
Hey, it's me, Peter, but you knew that. Look, I don't know how to say this, but, you know, I need to move on. I mean, you probably noticed that I'm not the same person I was a few months ago. I mean, you have been great, really. I just need to be on my own for a while. Well, thanks for everything, and guess this is goodbye, huh?
The extremely therapeutic Acura TL Type S.
Nobody thought our relationship would survive. They thought we were both crazy. I would fly from LA to New York, and he would fly New York to LA, coast to coast, every week for 5 years. We never missed a weekend. United made it easy for us to do that. They were the ones that kept our relationship going. My name is Christy Prunier. I'm a 1K flyer on United Airlines. You say airplane? Airplane.
Welcome back to the Georgia Dome here in Atlanta, where we await the start of the second of today's national semifinals, Kansas against Maryland. In game number one, Indiana defeated Oklahoma by a score of 73-64. Just a short while ago, Bonnie Bernstein had a chance to talk with Oklahoma coach Kelvin Sampson.
Well, early in the game, Kelvin Sampson, I saw you talking to your team about not having enough discipline. Came out with a lot of fire, but so did Indiana.
Well, discipline is starts with decisions and judgment. There was a flurry of possessions there where we kept attacking the basket, and instead of attacking and kicking it out for open shots, we kept trying to shoot it over them. And, you know, with Jeffries and Newton, they've got good shot blockers. You know, and sometimes in today's game, we didn't do a good enough job of sharing the ball and making each other better. Seems like we were taking some harder shots than we should have been taking. That's a byproduct of sometimes not using good judgment.
When you look at foul trouble, Jabari Brown in early, Aaron McGee fouled out, and naturally you would have had to rely more on your backcourt from some scoring, particularly Hollis Price. Defensively, they did a pretty good job.
I thought our guards did a pretty good job. We had to go zone there to protect our big guys from foul trouble. But, you know, our post got stuck behind some time, and we didn't support. And, you know, our defense, which has been great all year long, obviously wasn't as good today as it needed to be. And, you know, in a game like this, you've just got to play better. With no excuses. Indiana played better than we did today, and you know, I wish them well.
If I would have told you before the game that of all people, Jeff Newton was going to come out and score 19 points, I think it's safe to say you would have looked at me kind of funny.
Well, he wasn't the one that I would have guessed had 19 points, but you have to give him credit. You know, and these games are opportunities for people to step up and create memories and make big plays, and Jeff Newton did. I thought our kids hung in there. When we got it to 60-60, I still thought we were going to win, but at that point on, Indiana made the big plays.
All right, well, Calvin, I appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you, Bonnie.
Classy man, the head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, Kelvin Sampson, and you heard him mention Indiana's shot blockers. One of the amazing numbers from that first game, Clark, is that Indiana blocked 8 shots to Oklahoma's 1.
And part of it was due to what Kelvin Sampson just said, his team attacking, not being as patient as they needed to be. But the other part of it was just excellent defense by Indiana. George Leach with the denial. George Leach again with the denial. Then inside, that's Leach again throwing it out of there. Quick off their feet, excellent timing. Newton stepping in, getting his hands on the ball. Dietrich trying to attack. Newton sends it away. Newton sends it away again. And as you look at these plays, most of those blocks were smaller guys taking it into the bigger Indiana guys. And then the three-point shooting in the second half, Greg. Indiana knocked down 6 three-pointers in the second half on 6 attempts. Donald Perry there, Kyle Hornsby here. And I think, again, being able to throw the ball inside and take advantage of their strength up front allowed Indiana to get some better three-point looks in that second half.
And you talk about those three-pointers. Remember, Indiana shot just 2 out of 7 in the first half, came out and shot 6 for 6 in the second half. We'll take a timeout. We'll continue from Atlanta in just a moment.
Fine old-timey music. Love it, love it, love it.
Nothing better on a Sunday morning.
Well, it's real music. It can be sad, it can be angry, like New Yorkers.
I ran to the record store and purchased the album. I've been listening to it constantly for over a year now.
The music makes our cookies taste sweeter.
Bonafide.
Go to sleep, you little baby.
Like I said, it's happy music, walking music.
Starting to feel a little cramped by your present surroundings? RE/MAX can help you find a new home while selling your current one to someone who'll find it absolutely perfect. If you're looking for outstanding results, look for RE/MAX.
Gonna knock over a bank with a magic marker?
They're America's favorite bank robbers. Bruce Willis, Billy Bob Thornton, and Kate Blanchett. Bandits. Directed by Barry Levinson. Rated PG-13. Rent or buy it Tuesday.
At Midas, all we think about is auto care. In fact, recently, I had an idea for a kids show, a way to get kids excited about our business. Wave hello to Mr. AC!
Hi, Mr. AC!
Mr. AC is very cold. The compressor pressurizes the... We're still tweaking it.
Midas, we do that. Tiger Woods pursues a 3rd green jacket and back-to-back wins at Augusta National. A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS.
Catch the smash hit, CSI, Thursday on CBS. It's all here.
This portion of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Ford.
The Jayhawks were concerned about guard Kirk Heinrich's condition after he injured his ankle in the first round, but he came back strong and has averaged nearly 11 points a game along the road to Atlanta. Maryland's Lonnie Baxter was named his region's most outstanding player for the second straight year. Among his accomplishments, 29 points and 9 rebounds in the Terrapins' regional final victory over UConn. And we welcome you back to the Georgia Dome. The Terps have been on a team on a mission all season long. Haunted by their performance in last year's national semifinals, Maryland set its sights on more than a return to the Final Four. For Maryland, last season was like a dream. For the first time in school history, the Terrapins advanced to the Final Four, where they met their arch rivals, the Duke Blue Devils. But the dream season quickly became a nightmare for Maryland as it blew a 22-point lead and lost in the national semifinals.
These broken wings, I need your hands to come and heal me once again. So I can fly.
It was the worst loss I ever had. I mean, to be up like that and, have your emotion going and then for it all to be taken away from you so fast, it's one of the most disappointing things that has happened in my career.
This year, our chemistry, we know how to win, and like we be down in situations, and when the game is on the line, every guy on the team knows their role, and they just come to play, and we come out victorious. And I think that's a great thing of this season than last season.
It's been very amazing. I mean, we always knew we had the talent. It was a matter of us going out every night, just giving it our best. That's what we did all year. We just been playing spectacular.
Spectacular may just be an understatement. Maryland went undefeated at home in its final season at legendary Cole Fieldhouse, and the Terps won their first outright ACC regular season title since 1980.
We can beat you from different aspects of the game. We can go inside and pound it inside with Lonnie and Chris Wilcox, and if that's working, that'll open up the outside for myself, Juan and Byron. I mean, we have a true cast of players that can, do big things on any given night.
We feel like we've been together forever. Everybody knows everybody well. I mean, it's like a big family, and to see how we play, everybody just has fun when we go out there.
Now, Maryland has returned to the Final Four, poised once again to claim its first national championship. But Gary Williams knows he'll need some good fortune in order to make his 13th season as head coach truly magical.
I'm lucky this year. We have a very veteran team. We have outstanding character on our team, so we have a chance to go a long way. But, in a one-game playoff, you also realize that anything can happen in one game.
We want to, win the whole thing this year. I mean, we wanted to win it last year, of course, also, but, we fell short. And this year we feel we can take it, that extra step further and win the national championship.
Final Four isn't winning, so it would be disappointing if we don't win, but we're going to work as hard as we can to try to win it all this year.
As we approach Game 2 here in the Georgia Dome tonight, let's first know that Mr. Kellogg is on record prior to the last game as saying, be wary of those Indiana Hoosiers, and the Oklahoma Sooners weren't wary enough. Now, we come to Maryland against Kansas. Let's first look at Maryland and figure out what do they have to do to win this game.
Well, in the last game, we saw the bench players come up large for Indiana. Jeff Newton, Donald Perry, A.J. Moye, George Lynch. In this game, it very well could be the same type of situation, although I think an X-factor player could be Byron Mouton with his ability to defend and do all the little intangibles. Maryland has to do a good job in transition defense and on their defensive backboard because Kansas is a terrific offensive rebounding team.
And it's generally considered when you have to go to the bench, Maryland usually has the edge there. What about the Kansas Jayhawks?
Well, I think for Kansas, they've got to play their game. They want to play fast, but they want to play with poise while they're playing fast. When they've had problems, they've turned the ball over because they've tried to play too fast. If they keep it in rhythm, I think transition basketball is their key.
All right, we haven't had enough excitement for one evening here in the Georgia Dome. We need more. Coming up, the top-seeded team out of the Midwest, the Kansas Jayhawks, against the #1 seed from the East, the Maryland Terrapins. The winners advance to Monday night's championship game against Indiana. Jim Nance and Billy Packer will have the call coming your way from the Georgia Dome right after this.
You first.
No, you go.
I'm not ready to get married.
Okay.
So, what was your news?
I won the lottery.
$63 million.
Think about it this way, man. After taxes, that's only like $28-30 million.
That's it. Yeah.
Life is best told over a great-tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
Shannon? Hey, it's Steve. What's going on?
Brown loves the chase. Brown tells me exactly when our customers receive their shipments. Brown tracks down the names, and that lets me bill faster. Brown helps me shake the money tree. Brown makes my job kind of fun, in a dead serious sort of way.
Get paid faster. What can Brown do for you?
We pass on so much to our children. Our eyes, the color of our hair, even a bit of our personality. And when we own a home, we find it's even possible
Carlos, dinner time. Okay.
to pass along our dreams. Call the Fannie Mae Foundation for a free guide to help put you on the path to home ownership and for a list of lenders and credit counselors.
You see them everywhere you go. Warnings, cautions, reminders that your safety triangle needs attention. Because just one worn part could compromise your ability to stop, steer, and maintain stability. So have a safety triangle inspection and demand quality replacement parts, like Monroe shocks and struts. After all, it's not just your safety on the line. Wednesday, a new adventure begins when teams race from the heart of Africa to the bustle of Bangkok.
Get away from our taxi!
All new Amazing Race, CBS Wednesday.
The Final Four continues from the Georgia Dome with the second game of the national semifinals. A pair of #1 seeds battle it out for one spot open on Monday night. The Kansas Jayhawks and the Maryland Terrapins about to get started here with the winner taking on Indiana Monday night for the national championship. And again, welcome back, Friendship Nance with Billy Packer. This is so even, Billy. Everybody's been talking about this game all week. It's so even, it even gets down to the coaches. They have the same name. We got the Williams. And when you're on the road to the Final Four, coming off of Interstate 85, you take the Georgia Dome exit. Yes, you even take Williams Street. However, Maryland, out of College Park, Maryland, when they take their exit here in the Atlanta area for their hotel, how about this as an omen? They take the College Park exit.
James, we are broadcasting. We're not reading tea leaves. You got to get back to the game here on
Well, look how even it is, though, Billy. Look at these tournament stats and the tail of the tape between these two.
It really is amazing, but both of these clubs have had great years. Kansas undefeated in the Big 12, which was arguably the best league in the country. Maryland 15-1 in the ACC, both led by great first-team All-American players.
Drew Gooden of Kansas. This is a player, Billy, when you talk about Gooden, he averages a double-double a game.
He really does. In the last two NCAA tournament games, 33 points, 33 rebounds. He is a very versatile player, moves inside and out, block shots, rebounds, better than maybe anybody will see in this game.
And how about Juan Dixon from Maryland?
Well, he was the ACC Player of the Year. A truly great story who has worked his way now to 2 Final Fours. He would like nothing more than to take his great ability and lead this team once again.
All right, Billy, it's always special when you have ones battling at the Final Four. We've got them, and it's coming up next.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Men's National Semifinals is sponsored by Singular Wireless, Marriott, Volvo, and by Bud Light.
Hi, everyone. I'm back in town to get you on your feet again.
Get up.
way, fellas.
So what do you think? Good offense or good defense? Pick one for a chance to win a Volvo S60 at volvocars.com/questions.
Nee, you can dunk, but you can't dip.
Your dip is gone, baby.
What are you talking about? No dip.
Introducing new Tostitos Scoops.
Let me tell you something, Bill. I put the hip in chip. Watch this.
With the bite-sized, bowl-shaped design for the perfect dip every time. New Tostitos Scoops. Whoa. The dip lover's chip.
This is my house.
Yes, it is.
No, this is my house. You guys got to go.
Also great with new Queso Supreme dip.
Two weeks ago, I was leaving Portland bright and early in the morning. The sun wasn't up yet. It was a cold morning. And one of my favorite times is going out, doing the walk around. You're in your own little world. Inspecting all the parts that you need to inspect. You know, the food truck is handling it, the fueling guy's there. It's perfect. If the sun's almost ready to come up or just about coming up, there's that moment of twilight there. It's just amazing. It's incredible. Following what you love and doing what you love, you end up doing it well. I'm Ruth Ann Povinelli, and I'm a pilot on the 767 for United Airlines.
The only witnesses to the crime are the dead themselves. Now, a man born with a special gift.
I have this ability to see things and hear things.
Will bring their killers to justice. Ted Danson, Mary Steenburgen, Living with the Dead. CBS Sunday, April 28th.
Back at the Georgia Dome, and now let's introduce you to the starting lineups. Here's Jackie Bowe.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Georgia Dome for tonight's second-round semifinal game between the University of Kansas Jayhawks and the University of Maryland's Terrapins. Let's meet the starting lineups. At center for Kansas, listed at 6'10", a junior from Richmond, California, wearing 0, Drew Gooden. At forward for Maryland, listed at 6'6", a senior from Rainy, Louisiana, number 1, Byron Mouton. At forward for Kansas, listed at 6'9", a junior from Iowa Falls, Iowa, wearing number 4, Nick Callison. At center for Maryland, listed at 6'8", a senior from Silver Spring, Maryland, wearing number 35, Lonnie Baxter. At guard for Kansas, listed at 6'1", a senior from Valley City, North Dakota, wearing number 13, Jeff Boschee. At forward from Maryland, listed at 6'10", a sophomore from Whiteville, North Carolina, number 54, Chris Wilcox. At guard for Kansas, listed at 6'3", a junior from Sioux City, Iowa, wearing number 10, Kurt Heinrich. At guard from Maryland, listed at 6'3", a junior from Miami Lakes, Florida, wearing number 25, Steve Blake. At guard for Kansas, listed at 6'1", a freshman from Portland, Oregon, wearing number 11, Aaron Miles. At guard from Maryland, listed at 6'3", a senior from Baltimore, Maryland, number 3, Juan Dixon. Introducing the head coaches for Kansas, Roy Williams. And for Maryland, Gary Williams.
Gary Williams, only the second coach to ever take his alma mater to 2 Final Fours. Jim Boeheim, the other. Back-to-back years for Maryland. Roy Williams bringing Kansas to the promised land for the third time in his 14 years in Kansas. Billy, how about the Packer points here?
Well, anchormen, we're talking about Collison and Baxter. Now, one of the things to keep in mind, look at how close they are in scoring, is the fact that they get into foul trouble. Collison has fouled out of 6 games. He's had 4 fouls in 11 others, so that's really critical. Instant offense. Both of these teams not only get bench production, but great production off the bench. Kansas with a slight edge there, 24-21. That's going to be very important in tonight's game. Be quick, but don't hurry. The assist-to-turnover ratio for Kansas is good, but for Maryland, it is excellent. Slight edge to Maryland in that one. And, of course, we get down to one glaring difference between these two teams, and that is rebounding. Look at Kansas, an 8.9 rebound advantage. Maryland just 3.7. So a little assist-turnover ratio to Maryland, rebounding edge to Kansas. These two teams, Jim, are as close as any two teams we've seen in a Final Four go head-to-head.
I sensed sitting with you at practice yesterday that this rebounding issue you felt going in was going to be the difference.
It really is, and sometimes you wonder why Maryland has problems on the boards that they do against better teams. We saw Connecticut kind of take it to them just last week with a much smaller basketball team.
Higgins, Hightower, and Corbett with the honor of officiating this semifinal. Gooden takes the tip, but actually right into the arms of Mouton.
Stole the tap. Wilcox never even got up.
Wilcox. And Gooden with the good box out to begin.
Gooden much quicker to the ball and rebounding than is Baxter. Baxter, a man with a big body.
Gooden, that shot blocked by Wilcox.
And that will be some matchup right there. Wilcox can play anybody in the country when he is motivated to do so, as he was against Mike Dunleavy of Duke. He can go outside or in.
Steve Blake going against a freshman point guard. Many expect a big game here by Blake tonight. He's had some struggles in the tournament, and a steal here by the Hawks. Miles back over Collison. Gooden swatted away. Second rejection for Wilcox.
No one in the United States and the college level goes up as high as Wilcox. So quick off the floor. Aaron Miles lost his shoe. The officials, because that ball was knocked way out of bounds, give him a little time here to readjust.
How much has Wilcox improved from his sophomore to junior year, freshman to sophomore year?
Well, without question, Jim, you're talking about a young man that's probably improved as much as anybody. Last year in the Duke game in the semifinals, to give you an example, he played 6 minutes and had 2 points. So we're looking at a guy who was slight coming off the bench to a guy now that could be a major factor in his game. Both teams straight man-to-man.
Collison, Baxter. This will be some matchup, and Nick Collison puts Kansas on the board first.
Good move by both coaches. They are going to take that anchor man position and force them to guard each other. Which one gets into foul trouble?
And thrown away by Mouton. The Maryland Road out of the East to the Final Four. First time ever in school history, a #1 seed. Went through Siena, Wisconsin. That's the largest margin of victory in Terrapin NCAA history. And then Kentucky and the UConn Classic, where there were 24 lead changes.
Baxter with the great hands. Not a great leaper, but he has the hands.
Blake put that right above the rim.
Early in the game, Jim, I question whether or not you want to make that pass. You want to get in your half-court offense. Let Dixon touch the ball some. Going for home runs early can be just big turnovers.
And they have turned it over, Billy. 3 of their first 4 possessions. Heinrich open. Three-pointer, guns it.
Right now, Collison is getting excellent position on Baxter down low. I think that Collison's doing a much better job positioning defensively on Baxter.
Blake surrounded, gives it up. Baxter, and he'll, they're calling a charge on Baxter. Collison stood his ground.
Baxter trying to go through 2. There was Gooden there, so Collison realized he didn't have to go for the shot block. Wisely stays on the ground. Dixon has not yet touched the ball for Maryland, Jim. Not a good move for their team.
Maryland's been shut out the first 2.5. Collison, that one's blocked. Pass somehow gets through to Mouton for Maryland's first.
That was not the intention. There you go, Kansas running off the break. They do that better than anybody in college basketball. Second foul on Baxter, and what we talked about at the top of the show, critical already. Fortunately for Gary Williams, he goes to the bench with some good talent. It'll be Holden or Randall coming in early.
And he's going to go with Taj Holden. He has 2 players with good size coming off that bench. Holden, and as you said, Randall, and he feels Randall. Talking about Gary Williams.
One of the
will be a big key here today.
Jim, one of the things that was, I thought, very obvious real early in this game, Baxter was not getting as good a position defensively as was Collison. And so he finds himself sitting down, and he has been so productive for this team.
So 2 fouls on Baxter in less than 3 minutes. A charge at one end and a hack on Miles at the other. And 7-2 Kansas.
MVP of the East Regional sitting down. Blake probably should have shot that ball.
And Dixon pinned underneath. And it's Kansas ball out of bounds.
Too tight of quarters to make a pass.
This Kansas team, and you can see why already, Billy, if you haven't watched the Jayhawks this year, is the highest scoring team in America on the season.
Well, they push the ball up. They actually almost have a fast break when you make a basket.
Collison turnaround, tipped around, and Holden has it for the Terrapins.
Heinrich not blocked out on that